All right, I'll call the special meeting of Anderson County Commissioners Court to order on August the 7th, 2024 at 9:33 a.m. Show that a quorum is present and all the members of the court are here. Commissioner Dixon just stepped in the other room for just a minute. He'll be right back, but he's here. So all members of the court are present. Do we have anybody sign up for open forum? No. Okay, all right. So item number 3 is the budget workshop. Just for, let me put a couple of slides up there, and I just wanted to, because some of that got cut off, I'm not gonna go through all this, but just, the appraised values for, that we discussed yesterday went up, about 200 million. About 62 million of that was, new values. So, last year, it was about 4 times what it was this year, and 2 years ago, about twice. But that's our appraised value for the general fund, $4,435,831,879, and then for the farm market flood control, the appraised values was $4,433,647,318. So, went up slightly. And the proposed tax rate, that we discussed yesterday was, leaving the tax rate exactly the same, 0.482893. So that's the, proposed. And so, we need to kind of go through, I was wanting to check with the court about, because salaries are important, I thought we ought to discuss kind of what y'all's thoughts were with some of the discussion we had yesterday. Let's see. And I think Megan has tried to figure out some numbers for us. So. Dang it. We talked about possibly, the proposed raise is $1,200 across the board for all employees. So that was all employees and elected officials. But today, we're gonna have to decide so that we can get it in the paper on the elected officials' salary. So we need to try to resolve some of these issues if we can, so we can vote on that today. And that's an action item on the agenda. But the court discussed yesterday possibly going from $1,200 to $1,500 in the budget, or maybe doing an ARPA raise for $1,000. That's something that we need. If we were to leave the $1,200 and do the $1,000 out of ARPA, Megan wouldn't have to change the budget. It would stay just like it is, and that wouldn't increase the deficit. The other thing about the ARPA, and I didn't think about it yesterday, and maybe y'all did or didn't, but we got to spend that money this year. So we would actually do that raise now, in this year. So they would go ahead and get the raise.
Yes, sir, I thought of it.
$1,000. That's what you were suggesting yesterday, right?
They could go ahead and
get $1,000 out of ARPA.
Yes, sir, or we could do it at the end of the year for them. A lot of people like to have money for spending
tax, insurance, and all that's coming up, so that would help them. That was part of, and it would be retention pay, try to make sure that our people stay with us. So, what do y'all think on that?
And go
ahead and give us some numbers, I'm sorry.
Okay, for the $1,500 salary increase to all employees, this would be an overall increase of $80,367 more than what is in the proposed budget right now. And then the $1,000 one-time incentive that's coming out of ARPA for full-time employees, not including elected and appointed officials, would cost approximately $264,019. And then, y'all didn't say it, but
we gotta have
part-time. So I did 500. I didn't know, just flat, across the board, 500 regular.
That's regular
part-time employees, not temps.
Yes.
So I just did 500. I did, and that would approximately cost $12,000.
and we would need to do that this year.
Yes, the ARPA would need to be done this year.
Okay.
On the $1,000, would that be the 1,200 for all employees plus the 1,000? or
Yeah, the 1,200 would be for beginning January 1st of next year.
the
So that would
1,000
stay the
would be
same.
For everyone except elected and appointed,
That's
That-
correct,
yes,
and that would
yes.
be this year.
full-time, part-time,
Yes,
or
the
whatever,
1,500
that would
is-
be 500.
Is everybody.
Yeah, the 1,000 or 1,500, I mean, the 12 or the 1,500 would affect their salary line, okay?
Right.
So that will increase their salary line. The ARPA is just gonna be a one-time enhancement.
And could we do that in December?
Yes,
So,
you
yeah,
That's what I would like to do the
That was
first
my
of
next
December.
question of when y'all wanted to do it.
If you decide that, we can do it in
Yesenia is
December. We don't have to
going out-
decide that today.
All right, hold on just a second.
Yesenia is going out on maternity leave approximately the 19th, and so I would really not like to do it while she's gone. And we looked at, the paydays, and the last payroll in October will actually be a third payroll, so insurance won't come out, and that was just a suggestion, but we could do it in December. We could do it whenever you want. I just really do not wanna do it when she's gone.
But we don't have to
I'd
make,
rather do it.
we don't have to
She's
make
gonna be
that
gone at the
commitment
end of the
today
year.
to
She
that.
should be back
you know.
October 1.
Okay,
So-
I say the later in the year the better, because it gets them
Closer
closer.
to Christmas.
To the Christmas time.
That's fine.
If you give it to them now, I mean, it'll be
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, it'd be
Okay, so
gone.
maybe the first payroll in December,
That sounds
would
like,
that work? That way she can add it to payroll and that doesn't become a problem.
And then you won't have to change anything, correct?
Right.
If you
Yes.
leave it at the 1,200.
If you leave it.
No, this is the 1,000.
Well,
No, we're talking about
Okay.
as far as
We
the
are-
2025 budget.
Oh, yes,
Leaving
yes,
it just
yes,
the way
okay.
y'all presented
The
it to
budget,
us.
what the suggestion is, the budget stays at 1,200,
Okay,
like it is,
perfect.
no change.
And then they'll get $1,000 enhancement in December whenever you want to, just one check.
So
But
let
the
me ask you a
raise
question.
won't change.
yeah, it'll be.
Can we ask Megan a question?
Right, but it'll just be.
I have another, something that I just
Okay.
found out as well.
Something that we were having trouble with yesterday is we're talking several at a time, and it's real hard for Mark, and you can't hear what people are saying on the video either, so let's try to talk one at a time. And I'm as guilty as anybody else.
Okay, the one thing you need to consider that about the ARPA enhancement is that it's a one-time enhancement. They're gonna have
That's it.
taxes come out of it, okay? So whenever they say they come home with $850, that's not gonna even make $100 difference, you know, per month as far as that goes in it. Now, if we go with the 1,500, you know, that's a permanent enhancement of another $300 per year. You know what I'm saying? So it would be spread out continuously, always be there, never go away. So, I mean, just to, y'all think about that before, you know what I'm saying, as far as, it adds to everything they do, from their retirement to anything. And I have no problem with the 1,200, but the 1,000 will be a one-time, it's not gonna change anything. You know what I mean, so. And I know it's more money than the 300, but it's not permanent, that's what I guess I'm trying to tell you.
But it doesn't change the deficit, and it doesn't change when Megan's got to plug all those numbers in,
That,
so.
yeah, it wouldn't change for,
It's easier, but just whatever y'all think is the most efficient, most best way to take care of these employees, you know?
Personally, I'm fine with the 1,200 and give the $1,000 at the end of the year. So I think, bonus during that time of year would be helpful to our employees. I know,
Don't call it a bonus.
it's incentive pay.
so,
Incentive retention, but
Incentive, yeah.
retention, yeah,
That was
so that
my-
they'll come back January the 1st, that's what I was trying to say. That's just my opinion.
But something we still won't do till December.
Yes.
Yeah, but we will make a
Yeah, but we can
decision
make the
today
motion now.
where we know for
Yeah,
sure
and that money can
that's
be
what's gonna be given to the
earmarked
people.
for that.
It'd be taken
The
out of
rest
there.
Yeah, so it'll be earmarked for it to be spent before.
Yes, it would
The
be better
deadline.
if y'all did it before the last quarter, approve it before the last quarter of the year, because we have to put, things in the Treasury
where it's
website, the
already
projects that
being
we're
spent.
doing. Because, I mean, we're getting down to December, so it'd be a lot better if y'all voted on it before December.
well, we can vote on it today. Do it.
The only thing that I would ask is if we're gonna put it on a regular paycheck, I would request that the auditor's office send out an email to all employees and let them know what to expect to see on their check, what categories it's gonna be in, and all that, because last time when it came out on the regular check, I know you said it was, well, we were inundated with people thinking that they didn't get their money. So,
I mean, it's on their stub.
It's on their stuff.
It's separate from their salary line on the stub.
But they don't necessarily know how to read it, so it would be simpler if the auditor's office just sent out an email that said, here's where you'll see it on your stuff.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, they were confused.
Well, when we did it, we didn't realize that would be an issue, so we had to go back and make the change ourselves.
Exactly.
Well, this was just a brainstorming thought sitting here. I heard Greg talk about the 1,500, where the 300 would always be there, and that, they would get added benefits onto everything else by going with the 1,500. Now, just take this as a consideration, that 80,367.03, could there possibly be an expenditure this year that we can move to ARPA to cover that? And then, when that money goes back to the general fund from 24, include that into 25, because that'll be the first of the year, still January 1. They still could get their 1,500, so they still will get their 3, plus we could do that one-time 1,000 for the employees. That 1,000 is only going to employees, non-elected officials, so that wouldn't be given to any of us up here, any other department heads in the county, only the employees. If y'all look at that as a consideration, that may be a plus, will solve all the problems. It's gotta come from the auditor's office. Could that possibly be done?
I mean, you're saying,
Look at an expenditure
Move
today,
money.
just say for instance, Judge in IT has bought, what are those that you keep buying for storage?
You talking about
Server.
Servers, and he bought a server for 100. Say we charge 80,367.03 to that server out of ARPA.
move the expense to
Yes.
ARPA.
You would still have that $80,000 in 24. You take that from 24, add it to 25, because in January 1 of 24, we didn't spend it, knowing that we're not gonna spend it because we transferred that item, that money's gonna go directly back to the general fund. So therefore, we can budget it in 25, and we still wouldn't have a deficit.
But either way, if you take it out of the general fund, whether it's this year or next year, it still draws a deficit. It's not coming out of the
Yeah.
new money.
Yes.
But
Still
it's
gonna
coming
be-
from ARPA.
It's still
No.
gonna be.
That's money we didn't have.
But I understand, but you're spending ARPA and you're still putting it back into the general fund. It's one point or another, it's gotta come out of the general fund again.
It's gonna come out of general fund in 25, but that was money we didn't spend in 24, that was automatically going back.
But it's still gonna show us a deficit because it's not new money.
I understand what you're saying therefore, but we're actually taking from one hand and putting it in the other.
I understand.
You understand what I'm saying,
I know what
Mr.
you're talking
Dixon?
about, but I mean, 'cause like I said,
I
I mean,
understand, but it's still gonna be a deficit.
it'll still, the problem is our new money is the only money we can spend without going into a deficit. So whenever we miscalculate our budget here and we got that $1 million that goes back into general fund, it goes from new money to general fund money then it becomes a deficit when you pull it out,
So today, we have a $7.7 million in reserves in there.
something like that.
Yes, sir, we're doing a guesstimate, but if we don't spend that 80,000 that we were gonna spend out of there, you add
No,
that back
it
to
makes
that.
sense to me, but it still goes back to a deficit, you know, when you pull it out.
However you wanna say it, but technically, we can still meet your needs of giving them the 1,500, and then meet the consensus of the rest of us with the 1,000 also. And that would be great for the employees. That was only a suggestion, because we have to do salaries today.
I got you.
I guess I'm just trying to not be too hard, but as hard line as we can to reduce that deficit. It's just, because we need to be able to spend some of that, like what you're talking about, for next year, to use ARPA, to be able to pay on the groceries and the medical for the sheriff's office, and get them the budget they need. At the same time, we need to move some of that to the $250,000 to pay towards the retirement system. And that's a pretty big ticket item there. So we're gonna have to use ARPA money to make all this happen.
That's correct.
And that $2,257,000 that's ARPA, we've gotta actually have that under contract and or spend it. And understand what
Well,
you're
we got
saying.
the 26 to spend it, but we gotta have it under contract before the end of the year.
Yeah, and so if we do that now in the budget, we're obligating it and dedicating it to the contract for the medical and the groceries for the sheriff.
Yes, you're gonna shift it around, whatever you do.
Right, and then we can actually budget it for their budget, for for medical and groceries. The 900,000 he's requesting. I think it was 525, 575 on the groceries. I think that was what it was.
575, I think is what
Okay,
it was.
all right. So that way, they get what they need, but it's.
But they're gonna get that anyway, I mean, that's
Yeah,
what I
but
say,
see-
we're just talking about some way to get rid of that money to
Yeah,
save
we're
up,
just trying
yeah.
to put that under contract. I still understand your interpretation. It's just basically a curveball to your interpretation. Other ways, we can still allocate those same amount of funds and do it. And I know you said 250 for the retirees. Are we gonna stick with 250, or are we gonna move it up to a $500,000?
I think if we do that, we deplete the ARPA when we can't do
I
what we
think
need
the
to do.
250 would be good.
Because if we do the 1,000, what'd you say, 267,000?
Yes,
For
sir.
the part-time and the full-time, Megan?
264.
264.
Well, you're gonna do part-time, so
Okay,
you say 76.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's,
I'm sorry, you're
so
right.
we've got the 2,257,000, so that gets us just a little under $2 million. Okay? So, we can do the raise, we can take care of the sheriff's budget for this year and next year on the medical and the groceries with that allotted to contracts and spent, and we don't have to worry about down to the wire on December 31st. We can do that right now in this budget. And take action to go ahead and pay the ARPA money for his medical and groceries this year.
It'll clear out this year, but you'll be only paying 8 months of the next fiscal year, correct?
Well, you're gonna be paying 5 months on his groceries. You're gonna be paying 9 months, next year on his, 5 months for his groceries, 9 months for his medical. This year, we're gonna finish out the year of his, we can pay for the first, from January 1st to December 31st, which was $1.2 million,
Yes, sir.
okay? And so, that's gonna essentially use all the ARPA money, plus be able to do the raise that y'all are talking about doing with the thousands.
So the total of ARPA right now is the 2.2, right?
Mm.
2.2 or 2.1?
Two something,
It's
2.2 something, 50 something.
I got the slide up there, but it's
It's-
2,257,000.
If you do the raises, you'll be left with $1,982,979.
Okay,
So right
Yeah.
under 2 million.
That's right.
okay, and
And
that,
then the,
and apply that to the groceries and the
yeah,
medical.
did the groceries and the medical,
It all used up the rest of it.
What we'd have to do is pay about 800 on next year's budget, go to the next, what was that total?
887,
So if we did,
so that's this year, right? So we
Yes.
can subtract that from it,
So what we do is-
1,270.
yeah. So we'd apply, I mean, if you wanna round it, you could do 800,000
Yeah,
on next year's budget, or next year's contract. And then what does that leave us?
if you did 700, that'd be left, if you did the 1270, you'd be left with 712 that you could do out of that. Cause we was left
Medical
with
and meals.
19 something, and then 198 something, you take the 127 away, if we paid that, we're down to 712,000 left, so you can pay that.
Pay your
What'd you say, 1,000,009 something? What was
Yeah.
it? Tell me that figure.
1,009,000,
Nine-
982, yeah,
1,900,000.
982,979.
See, that's 1.5 million.
He had it all together though, but you're
So
gonna
he
take
took
out a
the
half a
raises-
million
he
in
took
this
the
other,
raises off top.
I know, but the raises was 200,
That total is
Yeah.
276,
276.
120.
Okay, so I took
Kenneth?
the 198297, I subtracted this right here, the 1270, and that was the remaining balance. So we're,
Still gonna be short.
Okay, hold on just a second. All right, you took the raises out, the
Yeah.
267,
Uh-huh.
okay, out of the 2,257,000.
yeah,
Yes,
out of
okay.
that.
All right, so that should leave, like you said, 1.9 million,
Mhm.
1,900,000. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you take 800,000 out of that, then 2 times 800,000 is 1,000,006.
Yeah.
So, I think there's gonna be more to apply to this year.
Didn't you subtract that out of it?
Yeah, no, I didn't subtract that, I subtracted
Subtracted
this. I subtracted that. which is.
Can we
it's only-
pay the?
No, okay, no,
Paid out of
he went the other way.
Yes, wrong.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so that, if we cover that,
Yes.
then we got 700,000 for next year.
For next year, so
Okay.
that.
but you didn't put the retirement in there, did you?
No, not yet.
No,
You
no,
have to add the
Okay.
250 for retirement.
okay, no. You can't take that out of ARPA.
Out of ARPA.
What
You're
we're
gonna
gonna do is
charge
we're
it
gonna
for-
reduce the sheriff's medical
Yes, sir, I know.
and move that money in what's proposed right now
That's right.
to the retirement system.
And use the ARPA to pay for that
Then we're
contract.
gonna use the ARPA to cover his contract,
That's right.
okay? So the first motion we need to do is move in the proposed budget, 250,000 from either his medical or his groceries. I'd say medical. Move that to our miscellaneous budget, that we have a line item that we're gonna pay that to the retirement system as an additional increment, okay? To pay down the $7 million deficit. We do that as one motion. And then we take and apply the balance of the ARPA, and we can use what figures you had for this year and for next year.
Well, we wanna pay the 24, correct?
Yeah.
That way we can.
I'm trying to think let me think a minute about next year's budget.
If you do the deal, if you do the 887, that leaves us with 1,095,000 to apply towards this. But I figured since this was 24, you'd wanna go ahead and cancel that out, get that paid, and be done with it. And then, since this rolls over into 25, we could take whatever's left and apply to that, and that'd cover the whole 2.2 million.
Kenneth, what I'd like to do is make a commitment to the raise that we put on here from ARPA, and then the 250 for the for the retirement deal, that we'll have to make the motion to take out of the sheriff's into there and leave the rest of ARPA alone.
All right, I wanna make sure it's real clear on the record, so there's no question, especially working with the ARPA money, okay? So, can we, so everybody's okay with going with 1,200, leave the budget like it is for next year, and doing the 1,000 for the ARPA, for this year?
Yes, sir.
I'm good with that.
Okay, all right, so let's do this. I'll entertain a motion that we give a one-time to be paid with our regular payroll, $1,000 increase to all the, county employees exclusive of the elected officials and the appointed officials. In the first payroll in December as a retention incentive pay out of the ARPA fund.
Okay,
Do I have a motion?
wait,
What about
Wait.
part-time?
that's what I was gonna ask.
Oh, I'm
question.
sorry. Okay, all right, so let me add that to
So
it.
it's twofold, my question's twofold. You gotta do part-timers that are part-time, full-time employees, and then what about Christina and Casey? We added those two last
They're-
time we did
they're-
it,
they're
because
They're
they're,
employees.
They're employees.
They're employees.
The ones that had a problem was Truman Lamb and them,
Yes,
and they said
yes.
that they were
We'll make
employees,
sure we
but
clarify
I never
those.
cleared that up.
Okay,
Yeah, and they're non-employees.
okay, we're
Okay.
good.
Yeah, and that's fine. I
Okay.
mean, whatever it is right is right.
All
I
right,
don't
but,
know.
so it'd be 1,000, so the motion would
1,000
be
per
for
person.
1,000 for regular full-time employees and 500 for regular part-time employees
Part-time,
out of
full.
ARPA fund.
Yes, sir.
I'll make the motion.
All right, motion by Commissioner Chapin, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hill, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so ordered, okay. Now, is that 267, does that have the 500 for the part-time?
That's correct.
It does?
Yeah.
Yes.
so-
Okay, I just wanna make sure, okay.
Without the part-timers,
That
1,200
was even
is
267,000,
No, sir, it's two.
It's not even.
It's
but-
okay.
276.
138.
131.
Right.
What,
Sir,
what did you, 131?
80.
276,
276,
Yeah.
138.
130.
I rounded
I just
to
want it from my notes, okay? All right, all right,
That is current approximately our part-time regular employees right now, so that might fluctuate, but when I get closer, I'll clarify
It
with
could
y'all.
be up or down employee
Yeah.
by December.
But the full-time employees, that should be.
Now, Judge, that's 30 cents, not 38. 30 cents.
$276,130.80.
Okay, all right. Okay. I got it right. All right, so, all right, we need to do the elected official salaries. And we've chosen to go with the 1,200 across the board. I need to mention one thing that was a request, and I told them I wasn't gonna put it in the proposed, but I would bring it up to the court. So the court is a court decision. And, Judge Todd requested that the JPs get some kind of increase in their travel. And so I told him I'd do it. I'm asking the court what they wanna do on that. I told him that I wasn't gonna put it in, that we're trying to deal with the deficit. If we weren't be able to do it this year, I could look at it next year to try to see what we can do.
Don't they have like 6,000 or something?
Currently, it's 6,500.
Yeah, and some of them's not even used. I mean, is that
No.
pretty current?
No,
No,
this
it
is what we
goes
pay
with their
them.
salary.
It
It's
goes with
paid.
their salary. We pay them every payroll, just like y'all.
Just like our
Travel, yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
This is not, they charge to
Is
it.
that for them doing inquests
No.
and traveling back and forth to the
No,
jail?
they pay,
Yeah.
they are paid this every payroll like
That's for them doing inquests and travel back and forth to the jail.
And they're in, you know, I understand that their insurance goes up for their vehicles and the fuel, and they're dealing with those issues too. So I'm just trying to make sure everybody's has the information to make a decision. I
Right
told them
now,
I'd-
6,500, correct?
Yes, 6,500, yes, sir.
Page 23, that's 3, so they're right at 22, 20.
No, on the bottom.
Oh, 33 of 181. Yeah, they're all at 65.
Yeah, they're all at 65.
If you look on page 11, it shows all the elected official salaries.
Page 11,
Yes, sir.
So, I think we're probably okay if we leave it like it is, but. And I'm just being an advocate for getting the deficit down.
yeah. 1, 2, 3. It's been brought to the attention.
Right there.
What if we add 500 to it?
That's what I'm saying, I can see
Make
500 to
7,000.
1,000, I have no problem with that, 'cause they are doing the
Okay.
stuff at the
You have
jail.
to know how much.
That'll make them 7,000 each, straight across. That'll cost $2,000.
Plus,
The reason I bring that up is that's gotta be in with their salaries.
Yeah, it'll go up on
Plus
taxes and
taxes
everything.
and retirement.
Yes, so she'd have to do a full calculations over for their salary.
what we hear,
Mhm.
I don't mind.
Thank
I'll
you,
do whatever y'all wanna do.
thank you.
Good.
I'm okay with either one y'all pick, 500 to 1,000. Wanna be 2 or wanna be 4?
What do you wanna do?
Good with me.
Somebody wanna make a motion?
What'd you say?
I'll make a motion, we add 500 to the JP's travel.
All right, have a motion to add $500, dollars to the, travel line item in each of the 4 JP precincts by Commissioner Hill. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mims. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? So ordered. Okay. All right, I think that was the only thing.
What about would we need to discuss the cell phone member for elections right now, or we can do that at a
Well,
later time?
since they're not elected
They're not
officials,
elected
then we
officials.
don't have to, that's not a change for anybody that was elected.
Right, okay.
Is there anything anybody can think of?
I have a change that needs to be made, in Road and Bridge 3. The principal and interest, needs to be updated to what the actual principal and interest will be for 25, because what's in there is 24's
Okay, now,
but it's within the,
Does that
Okay,
have
can we
anything
come
to do
back
with
to
his
that?
budget?
no, it's not gonna affect the overall budget.
I mean, with his salary,
No,
cause we're trying to approve
no,
the
I'm sorry,
salary.
I thought, okay, sorry.
no, we wanted to do salaries first.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's what he said.
You get ahead of me.
sorry. Okay, well, that's
But-
up next.
But don't forget, okay, Megan, can you think, I don't remember any other issues with elected official salaries.
No,
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion to, approve the elected official salaries with the, $1,200 across-the-board increase to their current salaries. That is already in the proposed budget.
So moved.
Motion. Do we need to add that travel to that?
well, y'all just, I think y'all,
Well, we're approving the
yeah,
salaries.
you can.
Yeah, we have to
Let's
do the
do this.
With an additional 500 for
With the
each
additional
JP.
500 for the JPs in the travel line item.
Okay,
Who made a
so
motion?
moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mims, all in favor say aye. All opposed? So ordered. Okay,
So that's done for you.
that's done, the salary for elected officials.
Now we take a couple weeks.
Okay. All right, I tell you what, since we're on salaries, can we go ahead for the county employees and approve the salaries while we're discussing it? As a $1,200 increase across the board for all county employees.
And then,
I'll entertain that motion.
so moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mims, all in favor say aye. All opposed, so ordered.
Now, can we go ahead, are you gonna go ahead and do the other part for the one-time incentive and put it on there?
So we did that,
Okay,
so we're done. Yeah,
We're
so
done
this
with
will be
that.
paid this year.
yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
all right, so that's taken care of. All right. I guess, is there anything countywide that we need to take up? Oh, let's do the 250,000 out of the, move to the transfer to,
Out of the sheriff's department into,
A
yeah.
one-time TCD
Yeah.
payment.
yeah,
Yeah,
to
and then
do
pay it
the
for
one-time
retirement.
payment for the retirement system of 250,000.
And when we do that, the first year that happens,
I mean,
Yeah, it couldn't be
Whatever.
paid till after the first of the
right.
year, really.
but it'll come out to be into that contract, so that'll tend to the $250,000 coming out of ARPA will be contracted to whatever we put it in their department. And then we'll take that money that we funded for them to take back to be real money to be mailed off.
Yeah.
right? Okay.
But y'all haven't made any motions
We're
about
fixing-
moving.
No, we
Okay.
hadn't done that
That's
yet.
the way we can do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
You wanna see how he wants to word it.
Yeah, let's do this then. On the ARPA money, let's go ahead and budget that for the medical and the groceries. That way we've got that taken care of, because we need to take care of.
Yeah, I
that
don't
one.
wanna do that. Y'all do whatever you wanna do. I wanna just do the $250,000 and leave the rest of ARPA alone. We have other projects working into that. We got more time to work on that before we surrender it all out today. So that's gonna be up to y'all as a whole. I'm not gonna be for that today, so.
Well, if you don't move the expense, then it's increasing the deficit to make the TCDRS payment.
No, I'm into doing that.
Oh, okay.
We was talking about all the groceries and all this,
The whole
to
contract.
do away with it. Yeah, I'm not in for that today, but it's too much for me today. I got other things pending, thinking, other contracts, But that's not something that's pressing. We got 4 or 5 months to do that. But the quarter needs to go, I think, toward the retirement.
I don't wanna wait too long, because the way the Treasury's website's set up and how we have to do the reporting, we have to set up a project for everything that we do. And I don't know after, cause it doesn't open until the month after the quarter's over. So I don't wanna get to January and then y'all voted, let's do the contracts for the jail, move it to ARPA, and we can't add it, and we're out of luck.
In January,
Yeah,
that would not be a good
Well,
idea.
no.
If we do the
I just
ARPA,
don't wanna wait too long.
We're returning that money. to the general fund, so that money's still available.
I mean, I really feel like
Do you
October would
understand what
probably be
I'm
the latest.
if
I know what you
y'all make a
said, but I don't see how it's gonna be available as what the ARPA is, because once it gets to general fund, it's gonna have to be declared. You're trying to, do away with the deficit, I understand, but then that puts us in the situation, we can't use it unless we can declare an emergency that has to have a public purpose. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, we're in
it's
the-
not as accessible
Oh,
as
okay.
the ARPA.
So let me explain. If we do the ARPA now, for this year and next year's budget, then that $2 million, that $2,257,000, we've already done some for the raise. So the 1,000,009, whatever the balance was.
1,982,979.
Yeah, the 1,000,009.
If we do that and dedicate that to their budget now, then that 1,000,009, whatever we dedicate to their budget, leaves the general fund with an extra 1,000,009 that's in fund balance. So the fund balance goes up from 7 million to right at $9 million.
That's right.
And we're still in budget, so that money is available in fund balance to be budgeted for next year, if the court decides to do that. Does that make sense?
But I mean, that's what I'm
And
saying.
you won't have to declare emergency or anything.
Well, you'd
You
have
don't
to do
have
it, you'd have to do it during budget though, Joe. It's not something you could do January 1, you'd have to do it now. You know what I'm saying? You could put us back into a deeper deficit, you know, coming out of our budget to go to a project, but you'd have to do it now. So your hands are gonna be tied. If you committed to something today, it'll be next September before you can do anything else. Where now we got 4 or 5 months on any of these other projects that, you know, we've got working, that we can use that money in any manner. If not, we can figure out some other way to dedicate that money in some kind of contract between now and the end of it.
Just say, for example, we did this with the sheriff's budget with the meals and stuff, and that put that money back in the general fund, and say, in February, we come up, or not we, they come up with something that can help get the fairground started. Can that money be used on that project at that time?
It would have to be budgeted
It
now.
would have to
It would
be
have to be
budgeted
budgeted now.
now.
Now, that's what you're saying.
It'd have to be
That's
budgeted
what you're
out of
saying, it
fund
has to
balance.
be budgeted now.
I mean, if y'all wanna work into it and take this money and do it the way that they're talking about doing it, to enhance it, if we'll do it today and build some type of either contingency or capital outlay or whatever it takes that would be available and accessible to the county, you know, commissioner's court to be able to go in to pull it out for a project of any kind, then that can be done today. If not, you're gonna be tied for a whole entire year, and if you do it next September, it's still gonna be January of the next year before it's accessible, you know, because you can't do anything with it.
Well, could it be put in some type of line item, Megan, so it could be used next year?
Yeah,
Could it be
contingency.
created a
Sure,
new line item? and
You know, it would show
contingency for a
another,
certain amount?
deficit, you know, into our deal, you know, where it'd show, you know, another stress on our, but knowing that it is stressed to show that, 1.9, if that's what you did it for, and it's some type of contingency or something, that it would show that, even pulling more on our general fund, knowing though that that money's going right back in it, you know what I'm saying? It's not really a challenge to it, but it would have to be set up to where it has access. But it would allow some way to dump that money into a contracted situation that would clean it up, you know what I mean? It'd be all mopped up and cleaned up, but if we built that type of, a line item, then we would still have access to it. I'm willing to go with that kind of project, but not to just, to surrender it and then wait for the future court to make a decision that'll take a year and a half.
No, I'd like to see it put in some special deal, so you wouldn't have to go to an emergency meeting or anything, that it'd be
That's right.
available.
Because even, you know, like I said, the emergency meeting, it's got some fine line, you know, it has to be something that's pretty,
Well, I'd be in
Like our
line,
health
I'd be in line.
yeah, like our health insurance, it'd have to be something, it's just not that we decided to buy a new truck.
Right.
Okay.
So if you wanna go that route, we can do that, and then we wouldn't have to worry about if we spend it this week, next week, or whatever, it'd be done.
It's under contract.
But we'd have to build that, yes, sir, and if y'all would agree that we'd build that, I would go for that today, but I'd have to have that done
To
today
make a
too.
fund and put a set amount in there.
Mhm.
Well, I'm in line with that.
Yes,
Sounds good to me.
However, that just had to all be worked in.
So we're working with even, can you give me that figure again, that you figured, that 1,000,009, whatever?
Here it is, sir.
Let me get my phone on so I can use my calculator.
1,982,790. Was there any change on that 79, sir? Did you get it all the way down there, or is it?
That's what it,
259,
19.
109.
1982,979.
We will not,
This is what you have.
they'll be figuring for a little bit.
And the raises, I've got that there.
Yeah, 276,130 and 80 cents.
I'm just gonna say 130.
Yeah.
So we're working with even amounts in next year's budget.
Yes, sir.
Can we take and do 800,000 for next year's budget? You see what just an even amount? And then use the balance for this year's budget, which is 1,182,978.
Yeah, that's,
Can we do that?
I think that,
I'm just, for
Yeah, I
figuring
don't
the
mind
budget
that,
for
just
next
that,
year, we're
when
not
we're
using
through with
$3
what
or
we're doing,
$4,
I'm gonna have to put in
Yes,
a.
you want a line
in a-
item in this
Yeah,
budget
then I
book
want a
right here.
contingency
No,
fund bill,
$800,000.
Is that all right?
$1,800,000 for the whole amount, what he's gonna use this year and next year. Cause that's gonna be decided today, cause
That
once
was clear
January
out.
comes, it's done.
But you gotta take
Okay, so what figure
the
did
health
you have?
insurance off.
Sir?
What figure did you have?
Okay,
We're
and
gonna pay
then,
the health insurance, you gotta take the health insurance off of that total, correct?
That's me.
no, you
Well-
can't pay that with ARPA,
Okay.
yeah. But the withholdings, yes,
Right.
okay, and she's got that figured in.
yeah, that's all.
Okay.
No, he wants to
Should be
spend
all
the
figured
800
in
next
there.
year, and then he, to pay on whatever next year, what I
So-
and use the remainder to pay on now.
We've already made the motion and passed it on the 1,000 across the board for the employees, okay? And that was 276,001, I'm gonna round it to 131, okay? If we use 800,000 for next year's budget, because he's wanting to go to 900,000, if we're gonna take 250,000 from the general fund for next year to pay into the retirement system, we can stay with just the medical, just doing the one line item, for that part. But we gotta get him to 575 on his groceries, okay? So there's kind of a few moving parts, so 575,
That's what we.
what's budgeted now, 475?
And that would leave
Yes.
250.
Okay. So 100,000 of this is gonna have to go
1,731,970.
to the groceries.
Put into account, that we can get to.
1,700,000.
250.
2,200,000, how many sounds?
At least 100,000.
What page is it on? It's in that book.
Yeah,
No,
I got
you
it.
can, you can just.
No, retirement, what I meant, not insurance, retirement. The 250,000, that's what I meant.
My mother's just,
So, this,
Judge, when I said that a while ago, I said insurance, I meant
Yes,
the
it is.
retirement, is what I meant.
Yeah, I think that's figured in.
Yeah, yeah, it is, now I see that, but I said insurance, but I meant retirement.
Got yellow all around.
250,000 to pay towards our
Right, I under-
retirement.
Oh, you did.
The payroll part.
Yes.
That's what the.
All right, so let me,
That's what the medical, yeah, he was starting out. He has it all.
Should be right in here somewhere.
that's what we should.
I'll find it.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew it had yellow broke around. There you go.
That's what you're gonna be left with, to put the quarter million into the retirement, we
Mm-hmm.
talking.
It's gonna have have this much left. That's what we need, that's what I'm gonna write that down, 1.732979, right? Well, that's, yeah, play with 32. I don't care. Yeah, but at least 1.7. Yeah. And a contingency. And then, I don't know what we got on our leftover money for this year, I'm gonna ask her that in a minute. See how much money we turn in.
Okay.
What got?
All right, first, let's take the retirement, so we got a clear picture, okay? All right, so, in the proposed budget that we have now, I'm proposing we move $250,000 to the line item. Have you got that line item in the budget, that miscellaneous budget on the
It's there,
retirement?
it's just inactive.
Do what?
It's there, it's just inactive, let me find it.
Do we wanna use the line item number though, so it's clear to me?
Well, let me
Or you tell me what the title is?
tell you what the title is, hang on. let me
Okay.
find it.
Hmm.
Oh, I just called it TCDRS payment. Plain and simple.
Okay. Use that then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, in moving that $250,000 pay down the deficit on retirement, then I'll entertain a motion to move in the proposed budget right now, $250,000 to, what's budgeted in there, Megan?
In what?
Y'all that have that right in front of you,
What
for
are
the
we
budgeted, for the,
He wants to move
Medical.
something
For the medical.
for the medical.
right this minute, I think it's 780.
780, okay.
But you can pay that with the ARPA.
Yes, 780.
You can
Okay.
pay that with the ARPA.
Yeah, so
The
the
contract
balance of
again.
that
Yeah, the
will go
contract.
back into the paying the deficit then, okay?
Yeah, so he wants to take
So-
250 out of that, and
So,
put it
Well,
back
that's-
the
in.
proposed budget right now, I'm entertaining a motion to move $250,000 out of the proposed budget in the county jail medical line item to the Texas district and county and district retirement system line item to pay down the deficit. And that's in our miscellaneous budget, correct?
Yes, sir.
In the miscellaneous budget. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Hill, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Chapin, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so ordered, okay. Next, I'll entertain a motion to pay to the medical contract for next year. Excuse me. Yeah, for next year. From ARPA, $800,000 for the 2025 budget. $800,000 for the medical line item in the county jail budget. We're gonna have to leave $100,000 in there to make it the $900,000 he's requesting, okay?
That's what's
You understand?
left. when
I'm not
everything's taken
arguing,
We're
the
gonna,
point, what I'm asking is, would it be better to word it 800,000 toward the medical line item since it doesn't completely cover it?
yeah, I
That
tell you
leaves
what,
us with
and to make the
1.7.
balance,
No, at least that much left,
900,000.
put in contingency.
Well, we're gonna need to leave 100,000 in that line item to give you the 900,000.
Well,
So we
also,
might need to make it in two motions.
well, here's the thing, since that contract splits in September, you've
Yeah.
already approved paying the new contract rates until the end of the year out of ARPA with the motion you just did a while ago. So basically, if I'm understanding you right, you're asking to devote ARPA money to pay through the end of that contract in 2025, is that correct?
Correct, both,
Okay.
yeah.
And then there'll be 4 payments left in that contract. After that, there will be at least $73,000 a month for those 4 payments. And more likely, it's gonna be the $73,000 a month plus a 5% increase on top of that, because that's allowed in the contract. So somehow or another, in that line for medical, I would suppose there would need to be at least, 7.5 is 35.
Okay.
About
300.
400,000 left in that line after you pay what you're gonna pay up to September 10th.
you make 87.
Does that make sense?
Just in the medical.
Yes, just in medical.
So we're gonna have to leave enough in there.
You're gonna have
Pay
to
for the
leave
rest of next
$500,000 in there.
Pay
to
the rest
finish
next year.
Basically,
How much you got in there now?
or 400,000.
Next year's 780. This
780.
year's for.
780, but it's going up to 876 next
No,
year.
not travel.
So basically, it's going up $100,000.
Well, if we put 800, you're asking for 900 for the medical line item for next year.
Yes.
Okay. If we put 800,000 in there, then we have to leave 100,000 that's already budgeted.
Okay, I
To
see
get
where
to
you're
the
going with
900.
that. You are covering the whole year, even
Yes.
past the contract.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
I
next
just
year, we're
want
not
this to
gonna
be an
move
even-
800
I want
next
it to
year.
be an even number.
Yeah, 900,000 to cover.
Okay, so let me back up and reword this, because I need to make sure 100,000. So, I'm gonna entertain a motion for the county jail medical line item. And for anything over there, can we just plan to use some contingency for that?
We
If
can.
the contract goes up?
We can, since we had that contingency in the budget.
Well,
And
I'm
it
talking about
wasn't-
from the county's 300,000.
I get it, as long as, just like we said last year, I don't care where the contingency lives, as long as there's a piece of it that's designated for that, so it doesn't get spent before September 10th.
We gotta feed the inmates, so we're gonna take care of that.
Okay,
Okay?
well, it's not about fees, it's about medical.
Oh, I'm sorry, medical.
Those two
Make it,
things have to
okay.
happen or we shut the jail.
They're kinda interchangeable to a certain extent, because they
Well,
both
it puts us in
have
a
gotta
bind
happen
if
from
we have
us.
to start scrambling September 10th to figure out where that money's gonna come from out of our budget. But if we wanna dedicate money from contingency to it by court action, then that's perfect to the contract increase.
And when it increases, if there's something else in the budget, we can move money around, we can deal with it that way. I just wanna kinda keep our numbers, to an even amount. So I entertain a motion that, we leave in the proposed budget for the 2025, next year's budget for the county jail, in the medical line item, we leave what's a budget amount of 100,000,
That's still not gonna work.
hang on,
Okay.
and we dedicate 800,000 out of ARPA to cover the 900,000 requested by the sheriff's office.
Because that contract, like he said, that contract only goes through September. You're not gonna be able to use ARPA for the month after this contract is
Oh, wait a
over.
minute, that's for groceries and medical, wasn't it?
So what,
I'm sorry.
what you're, I think what you're trying to do
I'm
is
trying to use
move the
800,000.
expenses for the contract that the court's about to renew, which is September of '24 to September of '25. So that would be this year's expenses and then 9 months of next year's expenses. But the next 3 months at the end of next year will be a new contract, so
could be
you cannot
paid with
use ARPA for that, because that contract has to be in place before 12/31.
So you could use, medical, you could use 802. That's for this year. That's January 24th, September 30th, and from October 1st to December 31st. So 802 would be medical for this year.
This year and then next year,
And,
when we pay it.
Okay,
and then.
all right, seeing that's why I was getting the groceries and the medical confused, okay?
Okay, through the entire course of that contract, based on the payments that they have in the brand-new contract that was just issued, through the entire course of that contract, it will cost $870,509 and some change, call it $510, to satisfy that contract, just the contract with no additional expenses for 2024-2025 contract year.
September
Well-
to September.
Okay, this is the thing, we can't dedicate ARPA money except to a current contract that we have in this, going into that next year.
This year.
That's what I'm
So-
saying, but
so we
this is a
can't-
current contract, it begins September
So,
10th.
so I made a mistake about trying to put it to the medical. I was thinking of that for this year, okay? So I brought this up on the screen, can you turn one of those, just one of them, Mark? This is what we were looking at yesterday. So it's medical and groceries, okay? They're both contracts. And I wanna take 800,000 and put them to the contract, those two contracts, not one, okay? In other words, you got a contract to get you through September on the medical for 9 months. We'll approve it in September, okay? We're fixing to renew that contract. But we can only pay ARPA towards what we already have a contract by December 31st.
In place, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have that contract in place.
But what I'm saying is, Judge, when you made that proposal, you had the wrong numbers for how much the contract is, because it had gone up 100,000 after you made that.
Well,
And that's what I'm getting at, I just wanna make sure we're clear.
Well, I think what he was saying was ARPA
We're
will
gonna-
pay for up to 800,000 on this contract, right? Cause you were saying leave 100 for the rest of
Yeah,
it,
if anything runs over,
Well-
we use contingency or whatever we have to do, whatever.
but you
We'd
still
have to-
need to put the 3 more months of next year into
yeah,
it.
we'd take 800,000 ARPA and pay the 675 on the medical, okay? We can do up to 675 on the medical, and then we leave the rest of the budget to get you the 900,000.
I mean, that's kinda out of our bailiwick necessarily, but it doesn't make sense to me that, maybe Megan can, make it make sense. It doesn't make sense to me that if the contract renews September 10th of this year, and it expires September 10th of next year, that couldn't be put toward the whole contract period.
It could
No,
be, since if it takes place in September, why
The
couldn't?
beginning of the contract is in 24.
It's in
So the
24.
expenses for this year,
That's what she's saying.
We're already budgeted.
right, they'll
Okay.
just be money
That's right.
left in your budget to go back to the general fund.
Uh-huh.
And we'll start charging the inmate medical in September to ARPA, and then
That's right.
January through September,
Through next September, but that's as
to
far as
the
we
end
can
of the
go.
contract.
And the 900,000 that we put in for in the budget
Then
was an estimate based on what we thought the 5% increase would be. We didn't necessarily expect a $100,000 increase all at once. So I just wanna make sure we're not cutting
Okay.
ourselves short.
Yeah, the
So,
court will
I'm
cover what.
regrouping here, okay?
But we still
All right.
can't, but you still can't put just 100,000 in medical for next year, cause you're gonna have.
No, I know that, I'm,
Pay for.
the 900,000, I was thinking this year, okay? So, I'm backtracking because I looked at I'm thinking of the wrong year. So 675, that's why I put this back up. So if we dedicate 675 towards the 900,000 that you want in the budget, and we use the amount equal to get it to 900,000, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Cause we got 700-something thousand budgeted right now.
Yes,
So we reduce that amount to include, to add to the 675, to give you 900,000 in that line.
on the fund balance from this year's contract, is that what you're talking about?
You're essentially saying put
Yeah.
225 in medical
But
for
look-
next year for the jail.
Can we not give Megan the 1,732 now, and you just go work it into any contract you can?
Can we do that?
And come back to the court, cause this
Well,
is
no,
getting confusing.
I know, but, no,
And you'll know what's
the
legal.
contract,
She understands what
I
I'm
know
Yeah,
she does,
but-
but she could explain it to them and
but
print
the
it out.
end result, you still need money in medical to pay for 4
And
months
we'll
of
make-
next year
but you'll
after
go
the
back and make
contract
sure
is
that
over.
that's money's in there, right?
Well, if you're saying, if we estimate 675 for next year's contract that pays in 25, then that leaves 225 that we'll need to pay.
So you'll make sure that's in there.
Well, y'all can put 225 in medical, or maybe a little more, just, because, we don't know what medical's gonna be next year. We can guess, but probably gonna be more.
Well, I just wanna make sure we got them to their 900,000.
That's,
Well, that's what I was saying. a
if
minute
it's
ago, Judge.
estimating
It's not gonna
675.
be enough to cover the incidental expenses in addition to the contract. It's gonna be 870 through the term of that contract, plus the money after that.
But when we got the request, it was 900,000.
Yes, absolutely.
But you've got a new contract.
We got a new
And you know it's
contract.
gonna be a little more.
It's gonna be, yeah,
Okay, all right.
about 6,000.
So instead of 900,000, what number do you,
If we
Another
made it, if
50,000?
we made it 950, that's a good round number.
okay, all right. So we'll use 675,000, out of ARPA, out of the 800,000 out of ARPA. And then was that 175,000 for
What
groceries?
is it gonna be a month next year?
73,038.18.
So, 675 for the medical, and 175,000 out of the groceries dedicated to the sheriff's department's next year budget. And to leave the remaining balance, to give them 950,000 in their medical line item. And we can run these numbers, okay? All right, and then 175,000 out of their grocery line item, to leave them a balance of what's proposed, 575,000. How's that? You had 570.
I think I'm confused on the.
You had 575,000
Are we
requested
getting
for
the
grocery.
575 with what you just said?
Yes.
For grocery.
Okay, then,
Okay, so how much should be in medical for the jail in the proposed budget next year?
950,000.
So you're gonna leave 950 in the budget?
No, to make sure he has enough with the added money from ARPA and the added money that needs to be
Okay.
in there before, you see what I'm saying?
Why are you,
Okay.
no,
He wanted 900,000.
right,
We're gonna change it to 950,000,
okay.
okay? We're gonna use 675,000
ARPA.
out of
Then why would
ARPA.
you put that in the budget?
So you're gonna budget 675,000 out of ARPA for his contract
Okay.
medical, for 675,000 for medical, and 175,000 for groceries. And in the grocery line item, the 175,000 will make the total with what's proposed now, will reduce it down to give him 575,000. Along with the ARPA. You're gonna use
Can't you just leave it
okay,
in
right.
there like it is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
let's just leave it there like it is.
That's what I'm asking, we're
Yeah, just
leaving
leave
it,
in there like it is,
that's where I got
And then let's pay
confused.
it out of it, and that rest will stay there, and we'll put it in the
That's
general
where I
fund.
got
Just
confused,
don't let them spend it. you
because
know?
I thought we were reducing
Okay,
it
but
by
we gotta
what we're
reduce
gonna pay out of
We're gonna
ARPA.
reduce the deficit, then we gotta dedicate it to an ARPA budget and reduce the amount in those line items.
So we are reducing it.
We're
That's what
reducing
he's
it,
trying to reduce the,
okay,
so if that's what he
So
wants
what-
to do, then you gotta reduce the
okay, so put
money coming in.
675 out of ARPA. Let me give it to you. Just write this down. 675,000 out of ARPA for medical. Leave enough in that line item from the general fund to give him 950,000 total in the medical line item. Okay? And use 175,000 out of the 800,000 for ARPA. And the balance,
What's the 175
the 175 is ARPA. 175, excuse me,
for food?
hang on a minute. 125
For food?
for meals, that's right. 125, that gives us $800,000 out of ARPA, correct? 675, 125. 800,000, correct? Okay, so 125 out of the, out of the meals and leave the general fund amount to give him $575,000 total for the year. Okay?
So we're not reducing the budget.
Yeah.
No, the budget's gonna be reduced by the stress of the general fund.
No.
You know, what I'm saying, he's gonna lighten the general fund run, but he's gonna enhance it by the ARPA money, you know what I'm saying? So the budget still, yeah, we're not reducing the
That's
budget.
what I'm asking. So we're not, that's what I
We're
need to know.
reducing medical by $675 to give him a total of $950.
So he still gets the same $950.
Y'all are, it's like talking.
Okay, hold on.
We're talking
I
in
think
circles.
y'all can discuss this one after, cause really, I.
No, cause y'all have to vote on it. What number
We
needs to
can
be
vote
in
on it.
medical
Okay,
on
alright.
this page?
On medical, I want $950.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
That's what I wanna know.
No,
Okay.
it can't be. I want you to do a budget for ARPA,
A separate item for ARPA, just for the amount that
the
they're
meals
paying.
only.
To the contract, so it's
To the
washed
Let's
out.
just get a
Okay.
motion.
Let me, well, I thought I had it done when we could make it a motion. All right, so we're gonna give him $950,000 for his medical, okay? $675,000 is gonna be budgeted in an ARPA budget to cover part of the medical.
Okay.
We're gonna reduce the budget, $950,000. I'll give you the exact amount. How's that?
That needs to be in the budget, in the general fund proposed
Yes.
budget?
He wants to take it away.
Guess I was confused. You say one thing, he said another, and I'm confused.
I thought I said the same as he did, but I apologize, I'll be quiet. He wants to replace the general fund,
Reduce it,
reduce the general fund.
actually reduce
stress.
it.
Okay, so the general fund will be reduced to $275,000 in the medical line item.
Okay, so two,
275 will be all that's in the medical.
okay,
$675,000 will be in the ARPA budget to cover the rest of the medical,
okay.
So it'll still come to
Okay.
$950.
all right? And
So is
then,
that gonna be enough to pay for the rest of the year?
No,
What do we
that's
pay,
what he's
Mike?
asking for.
that's what he asked for, is $950,000.
It's gonna be
$700
$73,038.18. Well, we're mixing years here, so
I
I
know.
got confused. So,
Well, for 73,000 a month, that's 292,000. For 4 months. A lot more.
and then with 5%.
Sorry.
Well, that'll be on the next contract, maybe.
But I mean, we don't,
5%
I don't
increase
know
Right.
if we
on the
can
next
pass
contract.
it today.
Okay.
We can have, we look at that later.
Again. All right. Now I'm confused. All right, so hold on.
That'd be
I know what I wanna
was
do.
thinking- I was
I
thinking-
just gotta put it
I'm
in words.
thinking about the 4 months that is not, we don't know what that contract is for next year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about, leaving in the budget to pay for next year.
Okay. But we know for the first 9 months, it's gonna cost us $675,000.
Right,
Okay, so I'm wanting to budget that out of ARPA.
okay.
The 275 will get us the rest of the year.
Well, we still
And
have
if not,
to.
we'll add some contingency.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay,
All right.
okay.
You're stressing over something we've already worked out.
Okay.
All right.
I'll just let her know what the payment looks like it might be for the rest of
All right, and he's wanting $575 for groceries, correct? That's what's in there, that's what he requested,
Okay.
$575,000 for meals.
In the budget, it's showing $475.
I know, we didn't change it,
We didn't change it.
but he's requesting $575,
Okay.
an increase of $100,000.
Okay.
Because he knows that contract's already going up. Okay, so we're gonna take $125,000 to cover the, to cover the rest of the groceries, okay? Cause that's less than what's gonna be in the first 5 months. All right, so $575, we're gonna take. Okay. So $125,000, I want you to budget $125,000 for meals for the county jail out of the ARPA budget.
Okay,
So there'll be a line item in ARPA, $125,000, meals, for the county jail, okay?
So then, we should budget 450 in the,
450, that's
in the
correct.
meals, in the general
We leave
fund.
450,000 from the general fund in that line item.
Okay.
Okay, we'll reduce the budget down to 450,000 from the general fund, okay? Y'all understand where I'm?
Yes, sir.
I'm tracking now.
Okay, all right. So we've got those two issues done for next year. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hill, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, so ordered, okay. I think this will be easier, because we're just reducing this year's budget.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got, let me go back. All right, now, this is what we've got left. We've got 882,978 left, after moving the 250, okay, and doing the 800,000.
So we, in ARPA, we will have 1,057,979 we need to contract.
How much?
No.
1,057,979 we still don't have under contract.
Well, I got a different number.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, because we had to move the 250,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
And the 276 and the 800.
Yeah, the 276 dropped it to
That come to $1.3 million.
1.9, the 250 dropped it to 1.7,
No, you can't count the 250. You can't count the 250.
No,
Well, but I thought y'all were gonna do a different line item from somewhere else.
But you can't count that as reducing ARPA.
What is coming out of ARPA though?
No.
You're
I'm
gonna
good,
take it
okay.
from something
okay, hold
else.
on.
No.
You're right, you're
I
right.
know what
Okay.
Megan's
You
saying.
still gotta have it under contract. Okay, I got you. So we,
We
right
took
now,
the 250,000 out of
We need to add that back.
Yeah, but
This is what we do.
that pretty much negated what you just
I
did,
know,
because we're saying
I got you.
Okay,
This
so,
whatever. and-
This year, how much is he spending on,
we still need to put
Or
1.3
275.
million under contract.
I come up, how much?
1.3 million.
I come
no,
up with 1.8. 1.18. 1,180,000. So 2,257,000 minus the incentive pay for part-time and full-time, minus 800,000. I come up with 1,180,000.
Did you,
I got 1,182,978.
Close enough. 1,180,000.
Okay. We got to increase,
do we have a contract this year for the sheriff's department?
It's about to renew,
September.
probably next court for September, starting September.
Can we pay 250 of it out of ARPA?
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all can pay the whole contract up and,
Well, no,
all the payments from September to December.
I'm just trying to take 250 off.
Yeah, y'all can dedicate 250 from that until,
To cover
We
the
can use that
250.
250 could come out now.
We can
Yeah.
use that
That's what
250
he's saying.
somewhere else.
in all actuality, I could move 250,000 of what we've already paid
that's right.
To
to ARPA.
And then we could have 250 out of this budget available, we just go ahead and throw it at.
Or do y'all want, go back and amend that motion and make it come out of this year's budget?
We need to, that way that 250 is off the top already, correct?
Or do-
Just do another, cause you're just. So you wanna do 250 from,
In other words, you want to pay the 250 this year to the retirement system?
Yes, correct. We're gonna just go ahead and pay it out of our general fund.
there's nowhere in the budget,
Can't pay it out of
I guess we could just put it to other.
other,
Pay it out of other.
and just transfer funds to other. We're gonna transfer 250 to other.
I'll have to call TCDRS I don't know if we have to make that election before, if we can just decide to do it in the middle of the year, I don't know. I don't see why we couldn't, but I don't know for certain. And they're not gonna turn out the money. So So not
Okay.
do 250 next year? Or do 250 next year as well?
No, we're just trying to do the 250 now.
One time?
If we do it this year, next year at budget time, can do it again. I mean, if it goes in this year, we're actually doing it for next year's budget. But if you have to spend it this year, that you can go back and recoup it from something you've already paid, that will get it out of ARPA. That'll leave us with
Well, we hadn't
900.
made, okay, we could go back and amend our motion instead of taking that 250 out next year.
Do it now.
Go ahead and do it now.
Yeah.
You wanna just, I think that'll be simpler.
I
And
think
we'll
it
take
would.
it out of his medical, and then we'll use ARPA
To replace it.
to pay that down, so
Yeah.
we'll have to refigure that. But I think we're good if we do that for what we've just did to go for next year. All right,
Then
so
we're left
Let
with,
me amend our motion. I'll entertain motion to amend on paying the $250,000 out of his medical next year in the county jail, and go ahead and pay that out of his medical this year. I'll entertain that motion to amend.
so moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mims. Now we need to, all in favor say aye for the amendment.
Aye.
All right, now we need to vote on the motion as amended, so, entertain a motion to vote on, the amended motion to take the $250,000, out of ARPA to pay down the, county jail medical for this year,
So moved.
and move that to the transfer line item,
To other.
to, the miscellaneous budget to pay the Texas County and District Retirement System.
So moved.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mims, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so ordered, okay. So we're gonna take it out this year, and go ahead. Okay,
Okay, that should leave us with 932,979 that we don't have under contract.
okay, and it was 1,900,000, that number that you had, the first
No.
number?
Nope, it's not 1 million no more.
No, I know.
It was 1,982,979. That was the very first number after
Okay,
the 276.
I just wanna do the math one more time.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna take 250,000 out there,
And then take out 800.
and then take out the 200,
Yes, take out the 800.
and then take out the 800. You come up with 932,979.
Yes, sir.
That's correct. Same as I got, okay.
How much did you come up with?
It's, what we got left is 932,979 in ARPA. Correct?
All three, yeah.
That's what you got?
All four.
Okay.
What'd you have?
It's a test.
What page is y'all's budget on? You got it there?
I think it was the sheriff's,
I know, I thought you had,
it's on 45, if you're looking at the bottom number. Sheriff and the jail, which all that is on 46.
46.
I wrote on here yesterday to add 50,000 to
Yeah, the
building repair.
contract, the building
Building
repair.
repair. Instead of 100, make it
what I wrote. Yeah. You got something to drink?
Okay, so we got $780,000 in the proposed budget.
Regular document.
Do you wanna drink, Mark?
Okay. So we need to, so if we do $780,000 out of ARPA to pay for their medical for this year, what's in the budget, the $780,000? It leaves $152,979 to come out of groceries. Okay. Well, let's see, we took the 250, but we took the 250 out of there. So let me get that, let me mark that, 780. Should've brought my calculator today. So after the 250 that we took out of medical, leaves 530,000. It's gotta be funded. No, the 780. Okay, so we need to fund the 780 with ARPA to get him to what his budget is.
John.
So a 780 line item, Megan?
Cole's.
What?
A 780,000 line item
Oh, no, I got
for
you.
medical,
Uh-huh.
I thought you
Out
asked
of
me to
ARPA.
get you something.
okay?
Snickers.
And then then we'll replace 152,979 out of groceries.
Judge, can we tweak that a little bit, because we're underfunded on both of them, so, for this year, since we had that increase. I don't wanna throw a monkey wrench in the game, but we know that we're at 63% of budget on medical right now. And we should be at 57, so we're about 6% above.
Okay, okay, so you're saying the budget's 780,
Mhm.
what does it need to be?
Probably 800. That'd be a nice round number.
Well, we can't, can we do that without a budget amendment? Increase the budget?
This year?
Yeah. We still need to do a budget amendment.
No, yeah. No.
I don't think we can increase it without,
You just have to leave it at 780, okay?
yeah, I mean, we just have to take it somewhere else.
We'll do a budget amendment, so.
Okay, I don't think we can do that.
You can't increase the budget over.
All right, so, so let's use 780,000 to replace, or to fund his, inmate medical. And that's the total budget in that line item right now, for this year, for 2024, okay?
Okay, so you're saying use ARPA,
We're gonna use ARPA for that
$780.
whole line item.
okay,
We moved 250,000, we took 250,000 to pay to the retirement system, okay? So you're gonna have to leave,
well then, for this,
hang on,
there's not gonna be enough expenses.
okay, if we replace his budget with ARPA funds, that's $780,000 out of the balance, okay?
There's not gonna be enough medical expenses unless you include meals
No,
with
what I'm
it.
doing is, we're doing, for all of 2024,
I know,
his
but,
medical budget is $780,000,
but you just took out 250,
I understand.
okay?
We took out
250.
250, so it's gonna reduce that amount by another 530 that's returned to the fund balance. Does that make sense?
You're talking about for this year,
Yes.
Yeah, it's reducing the budget,
right,
okay.
but there's not enough expenses that are gonna be there to move them all to ARPA. That's what I'm saying, you already moved 250.
Yeah, so we got 530 left.
Okay, you
Yeah,
were
that's
saying
what, the 530 will go back to the
you were
fund
saying
balance.
780.
Okay. We're gonna take the remaining balance of the ARPA,
Okay,
okay? The $900 and something thousand dollars,
$932.
$932,779, we're gonna fund his entire line item for the year, okay? Of $780,000
okay,
with part of that.
okay.
Okay, 250's already gone out of it to be transferred, right?
Mhm.
So at least 530,000 to go back to reduce the deficit,
Right,
okay? That's what we're doing.
so what are you gonna do with the rest?
Okay, the 152, just a second, is gonna go to the grocery line item, the grocery contract.
Actually, it leaves 402,979, right, Megan?
I'm sorry?
Because we already took the 250 out, so if you take the 530 away from the 932, it leaves 402.
You said 532? 532? No.
Hang on. Okay, he's got 475,000 budgeted,
250, you said 530.
530, that return,
That's
that'll
out
go
of
back to the
medical.
deficit, huh?
I come up with 402,978.
That's out of medical. If you take that out of medical, and then take the 402 out of food services, because there's 475 in food services, we just need 402 of it. And you already took the 250 out of the 780, so that leaves 530.
Okay.
If we take 530 from there and 402 from food services, all of it's under contract. Because you've already paid, you're gonna have to pay, well, by the end of the year, you're gonna pay the 475. So you can just pay that, recoup that with ARPA. You've already paid 248.
Okay, hang on just a second. I know, but she can do a journal entry, she can reduce that, whatever we wanna do, okay?
Yes.
She can do that with ARPA. What I'm talking about is trying to make it, just take the whole 780 out of medical. And then we got 152,979 left of ARPA, and take that out of groceries, and then we're done.
But
And,
that,
and that'll reduce the budget,
but we already reduced that 780 by 250.
okay? Okay, but but we hadn't done that with ARPA. We reduced the budget and moved it out of the general fund of what's proposed, okay?
Okay.
It's moved over to take care of the retirement system.
Gotcha.
He's still gotta have his 780 to fund him for the year,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So I'm saying, take the 780 out of ARPA, fund his whole year, and the other 530 that's left, let it pay down the deficit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I'm proposing, okay? And then take the other 152,979 that's left out of the groceries, which is 475,000, hold on, I'll tell you. So 475 minus 152, 979. So, that'll leave $322,021 that has to stay in there. Okay? So, but it'll reduce the deficit by 152,979 by putting that in there. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Does everybody understand?
No, can you repeat it, please?
That's like a lawyer making a motion and a judge says, repeat this.
Okay, so, like,
Okay,
can
no,
I,
I can do it, okay?
well, can I explain what I think you're doing? So I'm on the right page?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'll just start from the top. 2,259,109 in ARPA. Incentive pay is coming out of that. That leaves 1,982,978. 800,000's coming out of that, which is the 2025 contracts for medical and meals that are paid in 2025. Then 250,000 jail medical that's paid this year. 530 jail medical paid this year. That comes up to 402,978.
Yes.
And those, the 250 expense that we're moving from the general fund medical to ARPA, we will do a budget amendment out of the jail and move that to other to make a TCDRS payment.
Well,
So
then,
I come up with 402,978.
well, couldn't you do that now that we've got that? Couldn't you do the 402 out of the 475 out of the medical, out of the food services, and that clear that up?
Yeah.
Okay, that, if we
For
did
this
that,
year.
it's all done.
Yes,
What were you
she
saying,
did that.
175? I was confused on 175.
She said she has 400 some odd thousand left, what she's trying.
If I understand what y'all are doing, if I've gotten it all correct.
No, I think you understand what we're doing, and so that,
Something didn't sound right there, but,
What?
okay.
cause the 530
What
plus
else
the
did you take out,
250,
Judge? Cause what did you have left?
Okay,
he left the full 780 in there, and you could do that and take the 250 out of food services.
okay.
But,
I'm trying to take the bulk out of one line item and just use the balance in the other line.
yeah, well, if we do that, we can take 402 out of food services, and
I'll
we're,
start out with 225, 2,259,
Okay,
minus the incentive pay,
okay,
and this is what's left.
okay, and that's what I got, okay.
Then minus 250 for inmate medical paid this year, whether it's 24's contract or 25, it's
Right.
paid in
And we're gonna
FY
take that
21.
250,000 out of his
They don't need to be
medical
there
and
to
move
the
it
fee.
over,
Yes.
take TCDRS.
So the expense will come out of general fund and it'll go into ARPA, and in
Correct.
return, we'll do a budget amendment and make a TCDRS payment.
Yeah,
So then-
that'll be just a budget
Yes.
amendment, okay?
Yes, but we're taking the 250 out of ARPA to
Okay.
pay medical.
All right,
That comes up to 932, 978.
okay, hold on. Yeah, okay, all right,
And then 530 jail medical out of this year, go to ARPA, which that.
no,
No,
that goes to pay down the fund balance. We're gonna take ARPA, the whole 780
That
that's
is-
budgeted,
that is 70, 250 and 530, 780.
hang on just a second. Okay, we got this amount, right?
932,
Okay.
yes, sir.
He's gotta have $980,000 for the entire year on his medical,
This year?
yes, on his medical. Right?
Right.
The 780,000, he's got to have that for the whole year.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're taking everything out of that line item, we're replacing it with ARPA,
780,
the 780.
yeah, 250 and 530, 780.
Okay, so the 250's going over, is being transferred. The 530 goes back to the deficit.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's 780, that's
So,
what's in his budget.
so 780 from 932, 779 leaves 979.
Where are you getting the extra 250 though?
Are you talking about ARPA money?
You're wanting to take what's budgeted.
This is not, that's not ARPA.
How would we do a TCDRS payment?
We're taking
We
it,
don't.
okay, you're taking that and just transferring it over.
You're just swapping them.
You're just transferring that
I have to
in.
take those expenses and move it to ARPA. So that means
That
it
and put it
reduces
back in here.
the ARPA amount that we have. Right?
yes.
That's what you, yeah.
Okay, let's do the math together, okay? All right. So we got this amount, right? We took 250,000, right? And moved it. And you applied that. You moved that in the general fund, okay? So that didn't affect ARPA.
No,
That-
I have to,
No, okay, hold on,
move
this
that
is where the
expense
mistake
to-
is.
I have to move that expense to ARPA for that budget to become available to move it somewhere else to make a payment.
Okay, the only thing is, is,
It still eats up some ARPA.
I understand,
You'll take a $250,000 bill out of medical and pay it with it.
this is what's left after we do the two.
I'm gonna do it, Jay.
This is what, this
You're
is
doing
what's
terminal
left.
injury.
This is what's left out of ARPA after we do the $250,000. I just wanna make sure they got enough money to take care of their budget.
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
Well, they'll have,
Well, the thing is, Judge, okay, right now for 2025, we have $780,000 budgeted. That needs to be changed, correct?
And that needs to be budgeted in the ARPA budget line item.
Okay, it needs to be changed to what, what? 950?
wait for next year,
No,
for this year.
no, we're in this year, this
Yeah.
time, okay?
Yeah, 'cause
So we just
only
need 780,000 out of ARPA. Out of the balance of ARPA.
That's this one, and 530.
1,982,000.
Cause we're swapping 250 out of there already.
Minus,
If you swap the 250 out of food service, yeah, you got 780,000.
What's this?
see, this is what, so this is what's left, right?
Is how much?
After we take the two, so you're saying we got more left
How
there,
much?
Oh, 932, but then I'm taking the 530 out too.
okay?
That's gonna go to
So the 402 is coming out of grocery?
Yes,
That's what you're saying, 402? 978.20 is
Yeah.
coming out of their
they
grocery?
come out of 475.
And then that 402 would be
So-
replaced with ARPA, basically.
Yes.
So Nick said that you're underfunded for this year, for medical.
Yeah, slightly.
Well,
Okay, so let's do that with a budget amendment.
2.2, you took.
well, the thing is
You
that
take it.
530 is gonna, budget's gonna be sitting there after we move this, but that'll take
I
care
know,
of
but,
whatever.
I know, but without doing a budget amendment, we're
No.
increasing the budget.
No, we're not, the only budget that we're doing is the 250 out of his budget. He's still gonna be left with 530,000 after, you know,
Mm-hmm.
In
what's
fund
there.
balance.
So if anything else is, if it comes out more than 780, the 530 will take care of it.
It'll just roll the fund balance at the
Yeah.
end of the year.
It'll just be less that goes in the balance.
And right now, half of the year, it's at 449.
All right,
You just have to remind me.
So
of
let's do
350
this.
at the end of the year.
so we can simplify this.
Please.
Let's let Megan,
Yeah.
okay, let's give her an amount
Was that 800?
I'm done.
that we're gonna
I'm
take.
done.
Okay, all right, so what is the amount that you need out of the balance of ARPA to do what we need to do in this year's budget?
Well, I think we're done.
Okay, but I need to put it in the form of a motion.
Oh, okay.
Tell me
So-
the total amount of the balance of
700
ARPA to be applied.
780,000 jail medical, 402,978.20 inmate meals.
And the rest goes back into the general fund balance.
Yes, except if they need more from us.
Okay.
I mean, it'll just be in their
Let's deal
budget.
with that in a separate meeting, okay? All right. You all okay with that? All right. Okay, we're ready to make a motion. The problem is we're dealing with two budget years, so that makes it more confusing.
I got
Okay? I just wanna make sure we got it all dedicated. All right, so Megan just told us what we need, so let's listen to her, and then I'm gonna entertain a motion to approve it, okay?
780,000 for jail medical
Out of ARPA,
for this year,
okay?
and 402,978 for inmate meals.
Okay, both of those are out of ARPA, and the balance would go back into the general fund balance. I'll entertain that. Are you good with it?
That washes out all the ARPA money?
Yes, that's all of it.
Yes.
Pretty sure,
Okay.
if our calculations are correct.
If there's something, a little bit left, we can use it for something this year.
We're gonna do that next.
Well, there will probably be 4 left in the incentive pay,
Okay.
open positions, but.
So, I'll entertain that motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hill, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so ordered.
Okay, now,
Right.
we need to come up with that other account, Megan, to put that 1.7 32979
In a contingency from the general fund for,
If
What?
we can have access.
That
to
much
it.
or 1.5?
no, 1.732.
Well, it comes down to 1.73279, cause we got down to the 1982 with incentive, and then we take away the 250 for the retirement, and that leaves us with 1,732,979.
That's
So
it.
1.7.
Wait, at ARPA?
No, that's what the extra
Okay.
fund, we need to set up for next year.
budget.
Oh, okay.
We wanna budget a contingency fund for this right here to be accessible to the Commissioners Court.
Oh, that's good, okay.
That's okay. But a lot of this is all going back in there.
And we're gonna create another line item for that?
So it's not
Yeah,
gonna
so
be.
we can access it next year, y'all can access it next year.
Special
without-
contingency fund?
Yeah, it's gonna be a special contingency fund for, the Commissioners Court have access to. So the ARPA be watching.
Brother Al.
You can't.
This money is coming out of the general fund for us to have access.
Me and Nick
This
will
is
be
the amount of ARPA that we're using to do the wash. You know what I'm saying? But if we just do that. If we say we'll rest it for that.
Let me,
Nick.
let me type
Me
in,
and you be fishing.
But it's
Can't
not
go
that.
exception.
Yeah, we know we got it then.
I know, but you can't go below fifty.
Come January the second, me and you are gonna be fishing.
It's gonna raise more on property
This
values.
is not gonna be a good shit.
Can I,
Because that's the
It's gonna raise
policy
more on property values.
court adopted,
So we'd have to
fund balance
change that
policy.
right now, we had to
That's
change
so-
the regular
We
budget.
can still do it, we can change the policy if we want.
Add to it.
but that's a safeguard. I don't know if it's
What if we
something we have to
transfer
do,
this
but
from
it's what y'all adopted.
I don't
But
know.
it's
Well, that way
so, we don't,
Doesn't
we have
affect the general fund, the fund
3
balance.
months of operating
What?
left in fund
I
balance.
don't know, whatever you're saying. The best
I don't have a
Easiest-
problem, I mean, whatever's
That
easy,
we
Do
can
what?
access,
whatever's easiest, I mean, we don't have to create a line item or whatever.
whatever it does, so we can
have it
access.
That's correct.
Cause when we.
What do you
Cause
recommend,
when we
Meg?
do that,
She's looking right now, putting the
Okay.
numbers
when
in.
we do that, that's gonna add that to the deficit.
That's exactly right.
Okay,
Okay,
so
if you wanna put it in safe keeping, put it in permanent, transfer it to permanent improvement. But that's, well, at least it doesn't have a deficit in general fund. I don't know, what do you think?
Hang on.
She gonna work on it.
That's what?
Okay, you're at 20.
Oh, it's still good?
I'm excited.
Highly do not recommend doing, well, changing that policy.
I just need to stick to it, I know it's not a good thing, but.
I don't
We're
think it would be
I
good.
don't wanna dare get myself shot, but, okay, can you, what do we need to do?
Y'all wanna put that in contingency?
A contingency fund for us, yes, yes, ma'am, for the Commissioners Court.
Special contingency?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, just call it whatever you wanna call it.
That way it'd be different.
Yeah, special contingency, if you wanted, if you had to label it like that.
Did y'all vote on reducing
Page 11.
jail meals and jail medical in the budget? Did y'all vote on that? Did they vote on it for next year? I don't
Yeah.
remember. There's
Yeah,
so
We
much-
just made that motion, what you stated.
No,
and
that
then
was
I added to
for,
it
but that was
saying
for
that-
ARPA.
For ARPA to be put
I'm
in.
talking about actually changing the number in the
Seeing what
budget to 450 and 275 for jail, medical, and,
So she wants to change what's been proposed.
did y'all actually make a
No, I
motion
don't
for
think
that?
we did.
I don't remember. It's been,
Mm-hmm.
it's been a
We
long
can make
2.5
another motion
hours.
for it though. Yes. So do you wanna make a,
Well, we made a motion, the part of that motion is to just
Reduce.
whatever we put in ARPA to reduce that and put it back into the
I
general
agree
fund.
with you, Judge, it was in there, it was kinda convoluted, I can see why she doesn't understand.
We make a clear
I'm
motion, I
out
don't
to clean
care.
it up.
So you need to know what is still left in each of those line items. We did the medical, I know.
We reduce it by whatever,
Yeah, yes, please.
and what's the numbers?
The food service is reduced by 25,000 and,
25,000?
yes, sir.
Hmm?
And jail medical is reduced by 505,000.
I don't know that those numbers are right, Nick. Is
No.
the,
I think we.
Yeah, 275 for medical, which,
for, 575 was the total in medical for the contract.
No, 575 was groceries.
Yeah, groceries.
575 was groceries, and we increased your budget line item to $950,000.
To 950 in medical.
That's for next year.
Yeah, that's for
the
25.
275
Okay,
is,
you talking about 2024 now?
no.
Yeah, for 2025 proposed budget.
275 is gonna take care of the 3 months for jail medical. We don't know the contract dollar amount. I believe it is gonna be underfunded, but then y'all said there was
Oh, you talking
contingency
about the
funds
rest
to
of the
take care of
3
it.
months? Yeah, but the total was supposed to stay at 575.
That's not what.
ARPA's funded by 125,000.
What should the number be?
Okay, all right, let me tell you. He requested 575,000. The ARPA amount is 125,000. The rest of his budget will be funded with the general fund,
450,000.
450,000. Okay. So the general fund will have 450,000 in it.
Are you talking about
And the
meals?
ARPA budget will have 125 in that. Okay? And then the 950, 675,000 will be in the line item for budget, for ARPA. And the balance will come out of the general fund to get him to 950,000. See, I didn't mess that one up.
I was confused for a minute, but I'm tracking with you.
Oh, we're together, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know the number, Shelley?
Yes.
What should the number be?
Oh, I don't, you said food service, no, yeah, you're gonna ask me. Okay, what is the 2025, tell me that then, what does the 2025 need to be reduced by for food services and jail medicine? What is it?
That's what we were just talking about.
No,
Okay.
just tell me the number, that's all, you don't
Okay.
even explain it to me.
So what needs to be, what he's asking for is 950,000. That's on that. Okay.
Yeah, she wants a motion on those two, and I just need to know the number.
We did that earlier on the medical. We made a motion.
I thought that was just for ARPA.
Yeah, I think we did on medical.
Okay,
No, we did the medical.
Well, I don't know the number, so
All right,
I don't know
I'm
what the
gonna give
motion
you
was.
numbers, okay? Here's the numbers. 950,000 is what the total he needs.
Right.
675,000 is coming out of ARPA, okay?
I'm not.
So that'll be in the ARPA line item. The balance is gonna be funded in the general fund.
Which is 275.
Okay.
That's what I had. Okay.
I wasn't disagreeing
But
with
it
you.
sounded better in our voice.
Oh, my gosh. You're killing me.
Maybe you didn't say it.
Okay.
Should I put up with it?
275,000 will be funded from the general fund.
I
Are we good
mean,
then?
they said they voted on it. Okay, so I'm putting 450,000 in contract food services for FY '25 and 275,000 in contract services medical. Okay? That's what's gonna be in the budget. Okay? I believe that's what y'all voted on.
Okay.
What was the grocery?
450.
450.
450. Cause it was, he needed
that's correct.
575
That's
minus
correct.
125.
That's it.
Okay, well, then I had it.
So you said-
I'm good.
I think
I'm
we can
fine.
just tell you, that on the general fund, just make that change. And we'll come back and look at it before we approve it.
Okay.
If y'all see a mistake, let us know.
No, Megan, there is just one thing that we haven't talked about, just kidding.
Okay.
What do you need on that?
Increase the budget by that.
That takes care of salaries, right?
Yeah, what budget?
That takes
Yes.
care of ARPA.
Take
There's
care of
no.
Those are two big ticket items we gotta
But can it
do.
not create its own?
Okay.
I
All
mean,
the salaries
you
should.
can designate it
Now we're
to
just down to,
whatever you wanna call it.
The
but it
elected
would be
officials.
we done that,
Like we
No,
did
no,
like
but
this
when you
year.
say salaries,
They
they
did
talking
amount.
about.
and we did the
For what? Cause I would have to put a.
Yeah, we
phone
made a
number.
motion. We approved the elected
Yeah,
salary
I would
with
just put
the
a permanent
$1,200 increase.
Yes.
So that motion was
Sir?
made and it's approved.
New building
we
project?
did the
Yeah,
electric.
but if I change my mind, you know, if that
But
was
can we go
fast,
back
then
and-
she'll be a little bit stiff.
Address
Well-
some of the salaries.
Yes, we can
Okay.
still go back and address the salaries.
But ours is done,
Individual
elected
salaries.
officials.
Oh,
Y'all control budget.
Individual departments,
I mean, if
we've gotta
Yeah,
go.
we made a motion.
there's
and we
300
passed it.
there,
Everybody across the board,
if it
1,200.
gets less than
Yes.
300,
We're not
and then,
trying to
you know,
mess
for
with
some reason you
1200,
do a
we're
budget
trying to
impact
mess with
contingency,
what
then
their salary
don't vote on it.
That way we can just use
I don't-
whatever.
Some of
They
the
wanna
lower-
look at their
Don't,
and see
yeah,
about
don't call it
increasing
anything.
performance
Put
pay
it in there,
and do it with
one,
the
seven,
interim
thirty,
budget.
and you need that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then there was some others too, that some of the,
No, we'll control it once.
you'll have to ask them, there's some clerks and stuff too.
Oh, yeah,
We-
well, that, I don't.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, can we deal with,
We could even take that.
Joey, I thought you made a list of some of the stuff we talked about yesterday.
yeah, you could, I mean,
The
if
cell
it's a
phone
building
for
project,
Casey.
Yep, cell
You
phone
could
for
even-
Casey, and then, well, we
you can
took
budget
care of the
it into
JP's
transfer
travel.
the funds and then transfer it to permanent improvement. That's what
Okay.
you wanna do.
Can we just make a motion to give her 2 cell phones that are paid by the county, and then we'll get Megan to see what the cost is and add those into the budget?
That's,
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yes.
yes,
Who is
sir.
Barb?
$44 a month, Judge,
How much?
$44 a month on personnel.
Okay, and it's,
For elections, the
okay.
2 cell phones.
Is that unlimited, or what,
Do what?
is that unlimited?
Yes,
data?
unlimited data, unlimited.
Verizon,
voice and
is that
text.
what-
No, it's AT&T.
Okay,
So what about the, we have to purchase the phone?
No, they're free.
Oh,
So that's $1,056
You need a
for
motion to
2
put
for
that
a
in.
year.
Get a new one every year.
okay. Do we wanna make sure no costs are changed? I mean, I'm fine with that, but I don't wanna say too much, too low a figure, then we,
Exactly. I
If you,
mean,
Judge, if you budget $1,000 for those 2 phones for a year, you're gonna be fine.
okay.
It's just agreed to let her do it, let her get it
Yeah.
put in there, we hadn't approved the
Is
budget.
that okay to do that?
Yeah, that's
All
right.
right, so I'll entertain a motion to approve 2 cell phones that are county cell phones for both election workers.
So,
So moved, yeah.
Will, okay.
Okay.
We're adding another employee, do we need to do a third?
Did she, no, I think with them too, 'cause she just has to
Okay,
receive.
that's all she
email.
requested.
I mean, text
Okay,
from
so
them.
who made the motion?
Joey.
Joey,
Joey. All right, motion by Commissioner Hill, who second?
I did.
Second by Commissioner Dixon, to allow 2 cell
Did-
phones that are county.
did y'all put a
cell
dollar amount?
No, they just gonna wait to see what you add to it.
Okay.
phones. Just find out what the cost is and add it on.
And that's under
Got it.
elections.
All right, so I have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So ordered. Okay.
Okay, I need to make a motion on the, add the money to the contingency.
Okay.
So we're gonna add it straight to the contingency, can it just,
Well,
one,
do you wanna separate what
No,
the
she
county
don't.
contingency to a
No.
special contingency?
she said she'd rather not, so it
Well-
doesn't matter to us, and we all approve it anyway,
I-
so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I feel like it would, you know, lock you in if
Work better.
you designate it for something.
I mean, the court's gonna control both, so
Okay.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So that amount, I'll make the motion to put the 1,732,979 added to the contingency fund.
All right, motion by Commissioner Chapin, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dixon, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I'm opposed. That's gonna raise the deficit on the budget. Okay. So ordered.
Where? I think my case, elections.
This is a long day, ain't it? I'm getting hungry. No, we're just getting cranked up. 12 o'clock coming, I will get me
Something, can we do, I think we need to approve the additional staff person for elections and additional, and making the full-time positions for the sheriff's office on the bond coordinator.
Okay.
Can I entertain a motion? I'll entertain a motion to approve, approving a full-time position at the budgeted salary that's in the proposed budget.
And that's the one we took from the,
Judge, if I may on that, those salaries were very low. They, when you approved that one, you made it equal to the lowest salary of the clerk in the county, which was my other clerk, public safety reporting system. They need to be leveled up with my other clerks. They're gonna need them for no reason.
And the reason
what
for that
page is that on?
And the reason for that is when we took the PSRS clerk, we accidentally estimated wrong at the last minute because it went through, budget at just the last second. And, their salary was quite a bit lower than, under $1,000, but still significantly lower than the rest of the clerks at the sheriff's office. In addition, we even made the, newest clerk slightly lower than PSRS accidentally. So what the sheriff's asking to do is level those up to, the current salary or the new salary for, records clerks at the sheriff's.
What,
That way they all
can I
have
ask,
the
what does the, bail bonds coordinator do? I mean,
She is actually going through all of the old bonds right now, and she's making some really good progress, but it's gonna be slow going. It's not gonna finish in the next 12 months for sure. And then once that happens, or as she's doing that, she's also keeping up with the cash bonds, surety bonds, and, amounts that they have outstanding for each of the bondsmen right now, since our software doesn't do it properly.
so what does the other do, the bail bonds officer? What does she do?
She actually
assists with that?
supervises the conditions of the bonds.
After they're, placed on bond from the court, they have orders and things they're supposed to do. That's the one who makes sure it gets done. They pay their fees, take their drug test, report in any other conditions that any judge has placed on them. That's what that one does.
And when she's in court, which she is in almost, one of them is there in almost every courtroom, when the judge orders, okay, I need you to take him for a urine test now, that's our job. She takes him, gets a urine test, does a presumptive test on it, an instant test, reports back to the judge, and the judge takes action based
So
on
one of them has to be in there then for that.
Yes, the other one,
But has one been doing it the whole time?
no, sir, there's been two doing that the whole time. Collections and bond supervision kind of work hand in hand to make sure that one of them is there for each thing. The bond coordinator actually stays in the office so that she's accessible to bondsmen and, she's able to actually sit at her desk and do her work because there's a lot of work to do.
And I think you're asking, who was doing that before? And the answer is nobody.
Yeah, but you'll be overseeing them.
But now she's making progress on that so that we can get that bond issue settled in the county.
This came from the bail bond board, made the recommendation to have someone coordinate that based on what was happening in another county where they had one, so that was kind of a joint, decision by the bail bond board to try to help the clerks.
And
And
she's doing an excellent job.
what was you basing that clerk's salary off of? You said some
I
other
think it's
clerk.
34,767 is what we're paying, or is it 36,767?
Right now, it's
36,400.
36 something.
It's gonna be 38, for you.
Which one are you looking at, Kenneth? On
Record.
page 149? 149 shows 37.6, what it shows. Are you on 149?
I'm on 147.
Go to 149. That's the one I'm talking about.
38,667.36.
You see there's two of them?
37.6.
One of them's 37.6 and the other, 37.6.
No, that's that.
But
You got it, Sheriff. My big old.
And the other ones in the sheriff's department are 38.
and you're trying to get them,
37,167 is what they should be leveled to. Yes, 38.
Well, that's for 1,500.
oh, you want to open them up now, is what you're saying?
So,
38, 367, 36.
yeah, 38.
All right, so that's gonna change some.
And that's moving them from
Commissioner Chapin, while
37,600.
they're figuring that one out, can we go ahead and just, we need to separate the motions. Looks like it's gonna be, So I'll entertain a motion to approve the new election, employee in elections, for the election department with the salary that's proposed in the budget. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Dixon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mims. All in favor say aye. All
That
opposed?
takes care of election.
So that takes care of elections. Okay. Did y'all come to some kind of salary that's, you talking about a minimum salary like the clerks have?
Like the other records clerk in that office.
Yeah, they're all doing clerk responsibilities, so.
You don't have any in that office, so you talking about the,
With the $1,200 raise, it would be $38,367.36. It would be like, on page 147, records clerk 1 and 2.
but before we set that, I have a recommendation on all our lower paid clerks. I'd like to take them all minimum, just make a minimum of 39,000, move them all any that are under that, and that would bring them up to that. We've got money, I think, that would be coming out of the shop money that could even support that.
Well, the shop money actually,
We haven't approved that to be moved, though.
well, I mean, it's in the proposed, but
It is,
that money was, we discussed this yesterday.
we did.
It kinda offset the election person. In other words, you have one employee that,
No,
There was $17,000 left in there.
oh, you talking about that we put over in?
Well, that's what he's requesting, but he's gonna get the 48,000, over and above, and then the other goes over to
So you're
the
talking
other,
about taking the 17,000
the expenditures
out of precinct two and
and boosting up, clerks, we need some clerk money. I mean, this 38,000, some of them are just a few little change away, some of them are more away, but I think,
put it in the form of motion.
how many clerks are there, Commissioner, do you
Yeah,
know?
let's figure up, see how much and how many.
there's around 13 to 14.
So there's not many that are under 39.
No, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at, I've got, those two there, 37.6, sheriff's got two more, 38,367. Marks are gonna be,
Got some? Tax assessor collector's office.
Yeah, we got one.
no, sir, the tax assessor collector, I'm gonna also make the motion that we bring up what Joey and I put together, and they will all exceed that. They'll be 39 to 40,000 already, with the 21,000 that we set up back a few years ago. It's like it's set up as an incentive or a boost or whatever, that was a struggle with the auditor.
You talking about with their supplement?
Yeah, but that was a supplement that Joey and I worked on, we built, because that's what the auditor said, the only thing we could have done, and that wasn't true then, but that's the way we set it up. But if we don't put it in there, they can lose that supplement. We can make the motion today to take that supplement
Okay,
away.
so tell me what you're proposing, really, tax office.
The tax
I just
office,
wanna
okay,
understand.
yeah, I'm gonna bring the 21 up to protect the employees, and that'll be a sealed salary, and that's not gonna be taken away. Like I said, if I made the motion
So
today,
you're talking about moving the supplement into their salary?
that's the way it should have been done in the beginning, you know what I mean? But we were told that it couldn't be done that way. And we've taken that amount of money and gave it to the tax assessor collector then, which was Terry Garvey, to fix problems that we had in the tax office.
And that's money collected from all the other taxes.
But there's even more that's collected now. That was just where we started it,
Okay.
whenever we did. Now I think the monies are not doubled, but there's quite a bit more money that we already
Okay,
collected.
so that's clear, so if that's clear, can we do that in two different motions?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So I would like to,
all right.
yeah, it all goes together. And it protects you, but it protects your employee. In other words, that money will never, Commissioner Scart's not gonna come up and say, to take it away. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, they can say, we're just gonna take the supplement away, it doesn't need to be there. But if I put it in a salary line, it protects those employees. Nobody's gonna cut that budget, you know what I'm saying, to cut their salary. We're not gonna cut the salaries of nobody.
Okay, so,
That makes
so
sense.
it's on the record,
It's in the salaries, but it's projected. Who's gonna come in and say, no, we're gonna cut their salaries by 2,000, not gonna happen. But the cut supplements could happen, and I don't want that to happen.
okay, so, okay. It's on the, so it's on the record, but because he's not at the microphone, just for the clerk, I'm gonna show that the tax assessor collector and the tax assessor collector elect for next year's budget is okay with what Commissioner Chapin is, about moving their supplement into their salary, is that correct? Is that affirmative?
That's exactly right.
Do you understand, Margie? I do. In other words, they're not gonna lose anything,
It'll never
you're talking
go
about
away.
moving it into their salary and deal away with
And
the
then it'll
supplement.
be in their salary from now on.
Whenever Joe and I found the money, the only way we could do it was build it as a supplement, and that wasn't necessarily the fact. It could have just come out and been, and brought them up to where they needed to be, but when we surrendered it to it, the tax assessor then divided it equally between everybody. Margie got the same amount as Socorro, that was making $26,000 at the time. So then, with fixing clerk problems, we brought everybody a little closer to being up. But now that money was left as a supplement. But I wanna make it as a permanent, addition to their salary, so it'll never change. So, a commissioner's court comes in and we start making cuts, supplements could be cut, salaries most likely will never be cut. I mean, we'd really have to be in a bind.
We've confirmed from Margie and Tommy.
I want them to understand, though,
I understand. I think they understand, don't you? Okay, and you're good with it?
It changes absolutely nothing.
That's an affirmative answer. I'll entertain a motion to. Or do you wanna make?
Yes,
You wanna make
yes,
the motion?
I'll make the motion that we take the supplement that's in the collections office up to their salaries to make it permanent into their salaries. That will also increase their benefits of retirement and all the different, it doesn't, it's already doing it now?
They're already earning
That's good, okay,
taxes.
Okay,
okay.
so you're making.
That's a motion to move it up to
You're making a
permanent
motion.
salaries, yes, sir.
Okay, let me restate it to make sure. So, the motion by Commissioner Chapin is to take what the tax assessor collectors, all the clerks and the tax assessor collectors are getting a supplement, is 2,100, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Of 2,100 that's in their existing salary with the raise, that's gonna be moved into their salaries, their regular salaries, and the supplemental budget will go away. So that will be part of their regular salary. Is that what we're doing?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll entertain that motion.
I've
That's a
made
motion by
that, yes.
Commissioner Chapin, I'm sorry. Motion by Commissioner Chapin, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hill, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So ordered. All right, you entertain, or you?
Sir.
I think he has
You
a
want-
question.
As long as there's an understanding that we won't come back 2 or 3 years and say, well, let's move this office up to the tax office. Because we're not gonna have that line saying something.
Now, when you say that, I don't understand what you're saying.
You know how,
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but that'll be a commissioner's court decision down the road, okay?
But it won't be taken away, so.
No, it won't be taken away, your salaries won't be cut.
Okay.
Now, I'd like to make the motion that we move the any clerks, the county clerks, district clerks, any clerks, clerks in the sheriff's office, clerks in the, collections, any clerks to the minimum of $39,000. That impacts a few at a small amount, some at a little larger, but I think that they deserve to be pretty well treated that way.
I think that's a good motion, but, coming out of that extra 17,000, give or take, I mean, if it's only $15,000, why can't we just take it from general fund?
Well, then we'll divide the 17 among us then, if that's the case. I just thought that'd be an easy way to get
Why
it.
would you divide it amongst you, tell me?
Why would we?
Tell me why. And we can go to, no, sir, let's go there, wait, we need
Yeah,
to
we can
discuss,
do it.
we need to put this on the table.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's
okay?
have this discussion.
The 17,000 is a separate issue.
Okay, we'll do
Let's
that.
take the 39,000.
Let's do it.
Okay, before we even discuss the 17,
Okay.
All right.
All right, are you okay with it?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to move all the clerks in Anderson County that are not at 39,000, they're below
Can I
that.
get clarification on what clerk?
Yeah.
Can I name them and you say yes? If that's what we're doing?
Where are you
All
gonna
the
start?
deputy county clerks that are under 39,
Mhm.
deputy district
Their
clerk.
position needs to be
What
brought
about
up to.
election clerk?
Yeah, that's gonna
Both
be,
Every clerk,
The new one?
Yes.
and-
Everybody.
every clerk.
So
every clerk.
the one that's been here and a new one will be making the same?
yeah, if it says clerk, that's what I.
I just want clarification.
Okay, that's right, but I'd like to make that position there, but if Casey or
Wants to take away
if,
$2,000, she
if
can
wants
do
to
that.
hold some back, you know what I'm saying, they can. You don't have to pay them that as far as,
Sir?
I guess, I
Well,
guess it would.
just-
I'm over the election,
Yeah, that's
So,
what I say,
so I'm fine, I tried to do this last year, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it'll
To
be
get-
up to the
to get-
official whether they,
there's something on there
budget.
like that, but just to.
And it's up to
So that takes care of what the sheriff was concerned with.
Exactly.
Okay, I mean,
Because there's other people-
we're trying to help our lowest paid employees,
So-
okay?
Okay.
So, let me ask you one question on this, and we
And
gotta
the rate,
understand
and
this
the two
too.
records clerks.
Are y'all saying before the 1,200 or after 1,200?
After the
Okay.
12.
After the 1,200.
Okay, all right, so let's say if the,
I just want to get clarification.
If it's still under 39,
wait till
after
they, wait
1,200,
till they
you
get
wanna
through
them to
talking,
it.
just hold on. Mark can't get all this.
The clerks are the ones.
What about the bail bond
I've got
coordinator?
empathy for you, Mark.
Not the bail bond coordinator.
What, is that the one we just did?
Y'all didn't make any decision on that one. That was the one
Yes.
they started talking
That
about, bail
will
bond
be-
Yeah,
coordinator.
bail bonds coordinator.
And that'll get what the sheriff was asking.
That's
That
right.
would be
I didn't know that's the one that we used to know.
And, okay,
You good, Megan?
yes.
All right, so
You
Megan,
just come up with that figure, I mean, we can do it now, we can vote on
Oh.
it, but I'd like to see what that figure is eventually.
She can
And
go
some
ahead
of
and plug
these-
the numbers and do another run.
Some of these are going to be, the 1,200's gonna take care of.
yeah, the 1,200, that's what I was gonna say.
No.
If they're not,
If they're 39,
if they're
after
below
the 1,200,
39,
bring
then they
them
come to
up.
39.
Yes,
That's right.
And
bring
make
them
it
up.
simple.
Okay.
Simple
Thank
as
you.
That's what,
Yes, after the 1,200.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so, I mean, like,
But-
somebody that's making 38,915 gets a 1,200.
Let,
Yeah.
They're getting,
They
If
get
it was
85.
before, yes.
let me see if
Yeah,
I can
look at that.
entertain this motion. Any clerk, after the $1,200 increases, is not at $39,000 on their, regular salary, that they would be moved to 39,000 as a minimum, as their minimum salary.
Yes, sir.
So
Is
moved.
it- Motion by Commissioner Dixon, do I have a second?
Second, agreed.
Second by Commissioner Chapin, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, so ordered. I'll concede on the deficit on that one.
Okay, well, Megan can tell us what that figure
Yes.
is.
All the things
She
that
plugs
we
it
did
in.
today, we're gonna have another budget hearing on the 12th. That should give you time to plug those numbers in, correct?
Yes.
And create the ARPA budget for the groceries and the medical, so we can look at it.
Okay.
Okay, we'll work together, okay? All right,
Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
did we vote? Yes, we
Yes,
did.
we did, we
Okay,
did.
all right.
Next topic of discussion,
I'm trying to think, what else we got?
shop. The
So,
money,
Oh,
that money.
Okay, all right. Okay, so tell me, look, I mean, $17,000, I figured it.
Well, wait, Judge there.
Yeah, y'all are gonna be more.
He's trying to figure out something.
That's right. That's what I'm saying, but you've got to include the 2,100 in your salary period. It's earnings, you understand what I'm saying? So, does that make sense to you?
Let me ask you a question, was some of your people under,
No.
on just the salaries, were
Yes.
any of your
Yes.
people under?
Yes.
Okay,
But
so
this,
the 1,200 was in there, the
Yes.
2,100 should be on top of that.
and 38,141, and then
Okay.
38,915.
yes,
We'll make that clear.
the what will?
the
Okay.
1,200 will be there, plus they're gonna get the 2,100.
We don't, that 21's put in there, that's
Yes.
gonna put them above $3,100.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm saying that
21.
the 21's going in there, but they're all getting the 1,200. You understand what I'm saying? But they're not all being brought up to 39 and get the 21 and get the 1,200. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if you don't move, if you leave the 2,100 where it's at now, then they wouldn't go, they have to come up.
But we wouldn't, that's why I say I wanted to make that motion first, because it's not fair to give them the 2,100. Just the reason we did it was to enhance the salary balance. Does that make sense? The only reason the 2,100 existed because we fought to get the balance up on your level, you see what I'm saying? So we had some making 26 to 28,000, so we struggled to get them up, and it just ended up being created as a supplement. See, so actually, I understand that they see the separation, but what we seemed to put it into place was to make it, to bring them up, and that's what we did, so we're gonna consider it as part of their budget.
It won't take us 10 minutes. Let's do this. I'll tell you, it won't take 10 minutes.
Because all the money that were collected from y'all
So
are
we
no
might
different
need
than the
to
money
read
he
this
collects
for
or anything, but they were, we were
That's why I'm
told that
saying
that was
it
the
won't
only
take
way
us
we
10 minutes. We can take that.
build
read
the supplement.
But it may
You
be
know,
part of
at the
it,
time,
part of it.
Margie was the assistant, I think, was right under.
Commissioner Chapin,
Sir.
I'm wanting to, at some point here, take a recess in a minute, but Commissioner Mims wants to address this the 17,000 increment
Okay.
that was moved to his budget.
You guys wanna go to lunch?
No, that'd go pretty fast.
Yeah, it ain't gonna take us no
So
time.
let's just talk about this and see if
And
we
then we
can
can
resolve
take a
it.
recess.
Okay.
It might be a good time to recess right after that.
That'd
It
be
sure would be.
Are we coming back after?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're here all day.
Good.
So what, no, he don't have nothing to do with it. Go ahead and state your piece,
I mean,
whatever.
Okay, well, I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
waiting on the open
I
floor.
moved that over there. Number
No,
one.
I don't want you, I don't want you to defend me on it. I asked you.
No, I'm not.
No, you're
Let me
fine.
tell you my
Have the extra-
rationale. Let me tell you my
If I
rationale.
could have that extra little budget to buy tools and supplies for the shop. I know that y'all don't think we need to, but take the price of a transmission jack. How much is that?
We got one.
I've got one.
I know, but it's your precinct.
No, it's not. It's ours.
It's for county.
Okay, now,
Okay.
can I have the
Let's go
floor,
down
or
there
do you
and
want
look
the
at the
floor?
tools and stuff there.
I know, can I have the
Take the
floor?
whole shop court over there and go look.
All right, can I have the floor? When can I have the floor? I'll
You
tell
can
you
have
when. Okay. The shop was designed to be able to help all 4 precincts. So we designed the budget for it, $179,000 approximately. Throughout the times that we've been here, one of the positions was eliminated and sent to Joey's barn.
That's correct.
Okay, so he received over and above the credited amount per mile that we split, road and bridge money up, he received another, what was it, Joey, maybe 60,000, with the insurance and whole bit. Okay, now that we've done away with the shop again, totally, now you, over and above your allotments for your mileage and all that, you're gonna receive that same 60,000.
That's correct.
Okay, now that's extra to yours. Now, let me finish. Kenneth and I have both got those same positions, but we developed those positions out of our allotments for our mileage. We've never received an extra 60,000. Does that make sense?
Well,
So,
I
but I
understand what
understand
you're
it.
saying there, but if we go off
Okay,
of.
but if we give you the 17,000 today that's left over and above, cause the judge taken another 60,000 approximately and put it into elections office. Somewhere in the mix with the insurance and all the stuff. So everybody's been getting some gain, and what's left of it, if we give you the 17,000, that's permanent. You're gonna get it this year, next year, next year, and the next year. And you're talking about buying tools, and we're leaving you with a truck. Well, it don't
Put
matter.
that truck and sale for Auctioneer Express.
I'm just saying though, and leaving you with all the toolboxes and tools in there, and I'm just thinking right now,
Let's go look for
without having to
toolboxes.
create more deficit, more problems, we have enough money there to support this clerk position, and to be able to take that 17,000
All I'm asking
and put it
for
back to
is
the general fund
to
and
be in
support that.
consideration of, it doesn't even have to be 17. 17 just what was there. 10,000 would suffice. But to truthfully, honestly set up a shop department in precinct 2 with the proper equipment, the proper tools, the proper outfit, I don't mean no harm, truck ain't gonna work.
Okay,
Truck ain't gonna work, I'm gonna have to go buy a pickup. We both know that. Tools that are still in there, half the wrenches, everything, some of them ain't gonna work, they're wore out. The good stuff is already gone. I'm going into the scraps. Since you brought it there, I'm just gonna bring it out.
okay.
I'm gonna bring it out front. Precinct 2 has always demanded a shop mechanic. We've always been allowed use of the shop, but you've seen the lines many times. You come down there, you got mad yourself. You stopped using the shop at one point because you got pushed back. I was always pushed back. All I'm asking is making it equal now. We'll be done. That's all I'm asking. We need
Okay,
some help.
then what
We
we
need
need
some
to
help.
do then is to go back and let's be equal. You take your allotted amount of money for just like I did, take your allotted amount of monies per mileage.
That's correct.
Hire your own mechanic,
Let's
buy
do it.
your own tools,
Because
and we'll
times
take
have
that other
changed.
position that you're
Y'all are
fixing to
going
get,
off road and
and let's
bridge
put it
mileage
somewhere else.
for fund the market fund. Local government's code, we can go to Austin, we can sit down and talk.
Okay,
We
we'll
go
do
off-
that.
We
We'll
can go
just-
off road usage. If we go
Yeah.
off road usage, the heavily traveled roads in the precinct require more funding than the larger roads.
Okay.
We
Well, I
don't
mean,
look at that.
That's another day.
We don't look
So
at
let's
it.
do that, we'll just eliminate that
You might
position,
have more
moving it,
roles,
and the
but how much
17, and find somewhere else to put it.
Industry, we're in high demand.
Hey, guys,
Yes,
hang on just for a second, okay? I'm gonna share
Precinct two
a thought.
has industry.
Hold on now.
Technically, when we split up the funds for the bond, every taxpayer in precinct two is paying the same amount as a taxpayer in precinct one, as a taxpayer in precinct four, as a taxpayer in precinct three. But guess what? They did not get $5 million out of a $20 million bond. You can ask Ms. Marjorie, they pay the same tax.
Since it was brought up that the shop truck is junk, I'd like to get that transferred to precinct three, cause I can use it.
Well, no, I'm using sale of the money.
No, I thought you said it was junk. If it's junk, we're not giving you nothing. Precinct three would love to have that truck.
Y'all have already deviated everything else you want out of there, so do it.
Hang on just a
It ain't gonna bother me.
Okay, Rashad.
I wasn't even here at court that day. That's
Y'all
what
hold
y'all
on.
wanna do?
Okay.
We got enough votes on the court to do it. I'll be
All right,
one lone vote.
Just hang on, okay? We got a $28 million budget, $28 million, okay? And I learned this when I first got on the school board, they said you can argue all day over what socks we're gonna buy for the athletic department, which is so minuscule, and we got back then we had like a $10 million budget, that people will argue half a day over what socks are gonna cost, and you're over here spending $100,000 on a piece of equipment. We're talking about, I took 17,000 divided by 28 million, we're talking about .000607. That's a minuscule amount.
Okay.
I'm just asking,
Okay.
let's
what's the
not
next
argue.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Okay, let's give the other three precincts the 17, since it's so minuscule, and that'd be
That's
great.
right.
You get 17, I get 17, you get 17.
we'll just take it out of the general fund, whatever it has to do, so just add that, that'd make it easy.
Then it's easy. Yeah, okay.
I asked to give each of us $50,000 out of ARPA.
No, we wouldn't do it out of ARPA, I mean, that's already been done.
Oh, okay. So, can we come back to this?
Yeah,
Can
we
we
can eat
go
lunch.
lunch and this, come back?
Yeah, we can go eat lunch.
That sounds good to me.
But I'm just saying, I put that over there because we had to put it somewhere. The shop went to zero. And I figured he had to buy some tools. I don't know, I'm not.
Well,
I had asked him that.
I'm not down at the shop.
I guess what bothers me about it is, I took care of that shop for 16 years now, and I think I left you in pretty good shape with what you got out of it. You sat here and just basically told the whole world that I give you a bunch of junk.
I'm not
That's
saying that.
not,
If you go
that's
over there and
not
look at the
right
tools
for
and
what
stuff
you
there,
just said, cause I didn't give
you're
you a
taking it
bunch of
personal when you
junk.
shouldn't take it personal.
No, you
But
just,
the goods
you
actually
did,
gone out the
you
shop.
did just put it on me.
You can ask my
You
phone,
did
my
just
guys,
put it
everybody.
on.
I'm not going there to the auditor's office, going there and do an audit on what's left over.
All right,
I don't want half the junk.
Let's
I mean, if the
just
county
take a
wants the
recess.
shop back, y'all
okay?
can take the
I'm
shop and
ready.
make it precinct
I'll
three.
make the motion.
We can get out of it.
I'm just gonna say.
That's why I ain't went in
we're-
there.
All right, I'm just gonna say, we're in recess until 1:15, okay?
Amen.
All right. Okay.
I will be on these.